has been clicked, and YouTube seems to have figured out the button has been clicked. Beautiful. Okay.
Great.
Everyone roll me a d5.
1 second,
gone
I
mad
have to
with
join
power.
the stream.
What up?
Ooh, 2 5s.
I should have had you roll a higher D than d5. Everyone roll a d100. Jesus Christ, people. Everyone roll a d100.
Wow. This has got to be the best collective luck we have ever had.
What the fuck? Corum and Charity, Jesus.
Really, you should have said a D1000.
I'm clearly. Corum, Charity. Just roll a d100 again.
I need everybody to read my NPCs list because I
Okay.
was very excited that I came up
AJ,
with this.
I'm trying, but you didn't put names on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I labeled what they were, so.
So let me get these ordered here now. So
Clearly, it is Monk, Barb, and Bard.
So let's see. Who rolled a night? Okay. Yabo is first. 92.
I just went to the NPCs to be like, oh, who's who?
Terrico. And then we
Oh,
have
I'm sorry, that's my
Hector,
bad friend.
And then Corum beats Charity. And if I do that, is that just a private message? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Yabo, since you rolled the highest on the initial percentile, even though when you all rolled d5s, 3 of you rolled the same fucking number, and when you rolled percentiles, 2 of you rolled the same number. You are the first person to arrive in a it's kind of a waiting room. There's a few chairs sitting about, and a elvish woman sitting there, and she looks up and she goes, "Name, please."
Yabo Bennett.
You're expected. Please have a seat, Mr. Bennett. As she kind of gestures over. And then
So.
Terrico, you show up a little while later. You see a elven woman sitting at a desk, and you also see a half-orc. Describe yourself, Yabo.
Oh, sorry. I am large and muscular, reasonably wide-framed, but not super wide-framed. Slight gut, little burly. With a pulled back, only top head of hair into a little ponytail. And then I am green. I actually haven't decided what kind of, what shade of green, but I'm green.
I'm green, da ba dee ba da.
And I am wearing just some kind of general clothes, sleeveless button-up shirt, or I guess stringed up, whatever, with some brown pants and some brown boots. Very, very neutral colors. And I think that's about it.
All right. So, Terrico, what do you do? What do you...
Hello, Missy. I'm here for an appointment. Very important one, I was told.
And can I get your name, please, sir?
Terrico Knucklehill.
Thank you. Please have a seat and wait a while. We're waiting for a few more people to show up.
Thank you very much, Missy.
Little while later, Hector, you come in and you see Yabo and Terrico, who looks like...
Terrico is a very He's short. He's like 3 feet tall. Very slim. Got a long beard. Part of it is dyed red and blue, and he doesn't wear any shoes. But he's got some leather gloves on, and he's got like a big tool pouch on one side of his belt. And he's got a pair of goggles, like constantly hanging out, just resting above his eyes.
All right. What are you doing, Hector?
I'm just gonna go to the elf lady and give my name. Hello, I'm Hector Greystone. I'm checking in.
Hello, Mr. Greystone. Please have a seat and wait for a little while. We're still waiting for a couple more people to show up. Little while later, Coram walks in, sees the Terrico and Yabo and Hector.
Yeah, just kind of a dwarf. Kind of medium brown skin, black hair and beard, very sensibly tied back. You got to keep him out of the forge. Just wearing like some very practical, sturdy clothing. I think like a heavy canvas type kilt and like a leather vest and stuff. Very practical. These are work clothes.
All right, Coram, what do you do?
Coram walks in, nods to the rest of the people there. Coram Bribella, I heard you're looking for me.
Yes, Mr. Rabella. Please have a seat. We're still waiting for one more person before Mr. Almara will see you. And then, lastly, sauntering fashionably late, Charity comes in and sees Coram, who looks like
about 5 foot elf. What elf? Brown hair, brown eyes, tan, studded leather armor, and bow on his back. He has a couple scars, but don't we all?
Yeah. And you all have been kind of waiting here for a little while, and you see Charity walk in, who it looks like he's muted in Discord.
Who looks like...
Oops. She looks like a fairly tall... She's a fairly tall human. She's about 6 feet tall. She is very pale, has this bright white hair that tumbles about halfway down her back. It's fairly long and straight. On her back is a bow. She's wearing fairly simple scale mail, but over it is a cloak that's kind of stylized like a lab coat, or like what we would know to be a lab coat. I don't know if it's the same in this world or not, but as she walks in, she looks around and goes, "Are you guys all here for the expedition too?"
That's what I was told.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. I'm
Yeah,
Charity
grunts.
Woods. As she walks over to probably the last person who walked in, and goes to shake their hand. Of course, Coram, right?
How would you
Yes.
know
Yeah.
that?
I mean, they're probably like the closest person towards her was what I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coram stands up and
And
gets
then
her a seat.
she just starts going around introducing herself to everybody in the room. She probably gets to the receptionist last, actually. Hi, I'm Charity Woods. As
Hey,
she walks over, shakes.
The receptionist kind of stands up and shakes your hand. I heard, Miss Woods. Pleasure. Anyway.
Oh, the pizza?
No. Okay. They're talking
Pizza?
about food. Exactly. Oh, it's Madison's family. Okay. She kind of
Yeah,
stands up,
sorry.
shakes your
Pizza
hand,
delivery is arriving.
and says, "Well, now that everyone's here, Mr. Almara will see you." And she kind of stands up, goes over to this kind of heavy, dark wooden door, knocks a couple times. Mr. Almara, they're all here.
Dude, it's fine.
Dog barks
Man,
in the
Mr. Mamara
distance.
has a dog.
It's all right.
Woof, 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 woof. The lady kind of looks and she's like, "Those wild dogs always causing a ruckus." Anyway,
Ain't that the fucking truth?
She
Famous for boats.
famous for boats. She opens the door, and you see this kind of lavishly decorated office, heavy like walnut desk, nice kind of lush furniture. There's like a bunch of different clocks, kind of set to like the same time, but slightly off from each other, just kind of tick 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 ticking. It would drive
Love it.
a lot of people mad.
Terrico is in love immediately.
There's a bunch of books, ledgers, nice bookplace. It's a very comfy, cozy office, fireplace, kind of at a low roll. And you see an elderly elven man dressed in fine blue vest with gold trim, hair kind of tied back up in like a top knot. He kind of stands up for a second, and I'd like everyone to roll a spot check.
Yeah, the oven's not if anything needs to come on.
How does one do that?
In your character sheet, you can just click on spot.
Okay, cool. Roll.
Yikes.
What up, Corum?
Yeah, I see shit.
And Tarako. Terrico? Tarako?
Terrico.
Like clicks
Terrico.
of. Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay,
I
so
don't see shit.
Terrico, Corum, and Hector. You all kind of notice it. It's not the most obvious or subtle thing, but as he kind of stands up to greet you, you all notice that in place of a flesh and bone left hand is kind of an amalgamation of different gears, springs, and clockworks thing, as he has a kind of fine, polished brass prosthetic. And he kind of
Neat.
stands forward and gestures
How's the
each of you.
craftsmanship? Is this a nice piece of work?
Oh, yes, it's very nice. You can kind of see, like...
You probably didn't have a chance to read it yet, because I just made it like 45 minutes ago, but Hector's husband is a clockwork guy.
Okay, yeah, it's got like some nice filigree and stuff. It's very, very decorative, very I can't speak.
Like, a lot of these gears
shows-
don't do anything.
No, they do stuff. They're functional, but they're also just
Okay.
incredibly fashionable. You can tell that this is a very expensive piece of work. And Mr. Almara kind of stands up and reaches out with his flesh hand to shake each of yours, and he says, Almara, you can call me Mr. Almara, Almara, sir. Almara is also fine. Anyway, it's a pleasure to see you all here. And he kind of looks over at the series of clocks on the wall, and then he kind of reaches into a waistcoat pocket and pulls out a very fine gold pocket watch. And he kind of...
Sorry, before we get super far, I just want to say, as we're shaking hands, Terrico's like, "Why, that is a mighty fine piece of work. Where did you get that from? If you don't mind me asking."
one of
Checking out his prosthetic.
He says, "Oh, one of my private pieces. I have a clockwork master who does all of my timepieces and things. He's on retainer whenever it needs maintenance or anything, or when one of those starts running behind," as he gestures to the series of ticking clocks on the wall, and he kind of squints for a second, reaches down and pulls up a little monocle to his eye, and kind of looks and says, "Third from the left, second down seems to be," and he checks his pocket watch, "about 30 seconds too slow." And he kind of reaches down and scratches onto a piece of paper to make a note to himself to get that fixed and sorted. But as he kind of looks around, he says, "Well, I have to say I'm surprised that most of you showed up pretty well on time. Punctuality is important, after all. But I assume you all know why you're here."
I believe
Yes.
we've all heard something about an expedition, a grand expedition.
Yes. You all have either been hired or volunteered to go to the new world, this fresh landmass that has appeared out of nowhere, and to start an outpost for us here at the Almara Trading Company. You all have been selected to lead your individual groups of people for your own unique individual skills, and I would just figure this would be a good opportunity for all of you to meet each other before the voyage sets out in the morning. I didn't hear much talking aside from the last few minutes out there. Bunch of strong silent types, I take it. Go ahead, introduce yourselves.
Hi all, I'm Hector. I'm a blacksmith. Little bit of sword wielding, little bit of skill wielding them as well. Excited to adventure with you all.
Youth these days, never letting their elders go first. I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm Terrico Knucklehill. I'm a senior engineer and inventor of sorts. I've gone on university circuits before, and I'm looking for a little bit more of an adventure now.
My name is Charity Woods. I'm a cleric and a pretty good researcher.
I did not mean to do the attack.
I was wondering what you were rolling for.
I'm being stabbed!
Apparently, my introduction sucked so much that I got stabbed immediately.
Corum really hates the elderly.
Dude, I'm 135. Not young. Corum's waiting for Yabo to talk. He's not going to talk yet.
Corum's like maintaining the strong silent type persona.
Yabo's kind of got food in his mouth right now.
So is Corum.
Just over there chowing down on like a mutton or something.
Is that hand of yours?
I am Yabo Bennett.
That's potpourri. That's not food.
I am the. I was an entertainment fighter until I decided no more of that, and I am now a man of great spiritual and bodily guidance. I curry much favor. I would not say I am famous, but I am known to many.
I have to know, have I ever heard of this before?
Is
Terrico
into entertainment fighting?
No.
Then probably not.
All, but he said that he was known to many. So.
Not to Terrico.
Right.
Already twice in this encounter, I've had the problem where one of my other characters is the person who would know about this.
Corum, I will be doing the hunting, scouting, whatever you need in the woods. My group, per se, will also be taking care of the food, farming, other supplies that you might need.
It's awfully good. I get a little cranky when I don't have my...
Well, we wouldn't want that.
Anyway, well, with those introductions so warmly out of the way, I have a little forward on your payment. I know it'll be quite a bit of money to try to spend in one day, but I believe in you, and saving a dollar, saving a dime, isn't much of an issue. So he kind of reaches down and pulls out five kind of small sacks, and he hands one of them to each of you. And he says, in there's 100 platinum coins for you as an upfront forward for your needs on this expedition, for anything you might not have already had but might desire and wish to bring with you. I believe the Goldenrod, the ship you'll be sailing out with on the morrow, is fitted with plenty enough cargo space for some personal effects and things for all of you, or any sort of individual equipment you might need. And tick, 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 tick. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. And he kind of looks over.
Sorry, it was how much? 100 platinum?
Yes.
Each?
Yes. And then he kind of looks over at the clocks as one kind of starts cuckooing. A little while later, one kind of starts ringing. Ding, ding. He checks his watch and he says, 10 seconds too quick. He makes a note down and says, anyway, I have another appointment here in a few minutes. I look forward to hearing back from all of you. Good luck in the new world. If you perform well, it will be very profitable for all of us. And he kind of yells, Elowen! Please show our guests out. As the wooden door kind of opens and she gestures you all to leave and says, right this way.
I like to think that when you say gestures us away, she's doing like the little shoe hands. Shoo, get a guy. Get out of here.
More the move it along gesture, like kind of doing a hand motion in a circle. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Hector gives a friendly nod on the way out.
She
and
kind
the little half wave where you just kind of raise your hand,
Yep, she kind of waves you all out. And you each have essentially 1,000 gold pieces to go shopping with and buy stuff. I'm not going to necessarily make us all sit here and wait.
Yeah.
But take that into account if there's anything your character might have wanted or thought about bringing.
So things like my smithing tools and that sort of thing, I would already own, right?
Yes, presumably,
okay.
Or is already being provided as part of the expedition.
Okay, so I more need like my adventuring gear.
Yeah, arms and armor, equipment, stuff like that. If you want, like, to bring your own, like, different armors and stuff.
Okay.
How much money was it again?
It was 100 platinum.
100 platinum. So
that's 1,000 gold pieces.
Divided by 5?
No, that's a piece.
No.
Oh, 1,000 a piece. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no. He's not skimping on y'all. He's not like, here's 200 gold pieces for each of you. Get out of my house.
Make it work.
He's like, here's your forward payment for this incredibly perilous journey you're about to go on.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. Everyone else can look
You
at
said
arms and
this was
equipment.
platinum pieces?
Yes, it's 100 platinum.
Yep, 100.
I would say probably for the benefit of everyone else, as we walk out of here, probably nearby, Teriko walks over to a young human woman with blonde hair done up in a bun that's stuck in place with 2 screwdrivers, and another young half-orc, very slim build half-orc, with like short black hair that's like kept very. It gets to grow a little long on top, but it always stays out of the eyes and off the ears. And he's like, all right, kids, let's go. We gotta go find out how we're gonna figure out how to kill things, I guess. I don't know. It'll be fun. You can teach an old man how to kill something, right? Isn't that right, Gwen?
Oh, so you're just like the Rick to these 2 Mortys, is what I'm...
No. Not at all.
Yeah, they kind of follow you. Kind of give everyone a little bit of a polite wave as you break away from the main group.
Oh, yeah. Probably at that point, Teriko and the woman would be like, Teriko, should we introduce ourselves? Or you should introduce us? These are our companions, right? Old man, come on, I know you're slipping, but... Like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. Everyone, this one, the mouthy one, that's Melody. She talks back to me constantly. And
He needs
the
it.
other one, quieter one, that's Gwyn. And, yes, I guess we'll all see you on the boat. I'm sorry, I don't remember any of your names. I think that one's Hector. And,
yes,
Elbow?
you got it.
Yabo.
Albo. Sorry. There was a charity somewhere. She introduced herself 17 times.
She has to if she wants you to remember her name.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. There's a lot of things going on in there. Do you know how many clocks were in that building? It was interesting. And our proprietor, his prosthetic clockwork, genius. Jeez, oh, I should have gotten the name of the inventor.
Teriko.
Yes.
You can just know me as the food supplier. And I
Alright.
I pat his shoulder.
Yes, that's the one that's going to keep us fed. Very important to stay on their good side. Probably would have helped if I had remembered their name. Something like Forum. No.
Yes. Corum?
Rerum. No. Rerum. Red rum? Murder. No. Food one. All right.
Food one's fine. I wave him off.
Kind of a polite wave and a facepalm later from Melody. She kind of puts her hand on Terraco's back and, come on, old guy, let's get you some stuff before you need tomorrow. And also double check your. Do you have a list? Do you have a list of what you might want? We don't want you forgetting anything.
It's just gonna speak to us as we get to the market, I'm sure.
Oh.
I mean, besides, one of your fancy tutors must have taught you how to kill things, right? Maybe not. But I don't know. Surely we'll find out some way to protect ourselves from all the beasties over there.
We don't know if there's any beasties. This is a new land. It could just be like here.
I mean, there are beasties here. That's why I think there's beasties there.
I suppose. Hopefully we don't just have to run into any beasties. We don't have many here.
Hopefully there's no B-stars either.
Anyway.
I disagree. I hope there are B-stars.
So, Melody, I can tell that you're using your voice like you're going to put me in a nursing home soon. Remember, we're in this together, okay?
Oh, I won't forget like you do. Like a steel trap up there. One of mine, not yours. Yours are a little rusty.
Hey, that's just because I refuse to throw away good parts.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Exactly. I knew you'd learn something eventually from me.
That's the conversation fades away into the distance. This back and forth bickering between this little man and this human woman. The half-orc just kind of trailing behind, sighing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I look forward to working with you all, and I walk away.
I nod at Yabo.
I say, okay, bye.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Hector, he's just a regular friendly dude.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, he really is.
Unique trait in D&D. You could have
He
just a
just
dude
loves
who'll be
his
the most
husband.
interesting guy.
He's just like,
All of my people are just people.
just dudes, just people who are like, yeah, you know, let's go to a brand new continent that appeared out of nowhere. Anyway, so what's everyone doing for their last day in like a major city? With a bunch of spending money. Just kind of preparing mentally for a 6-week journey by boat and an indeterminate time in a new, strange, unfamiliar place.
Charity, does anybody have anybody who can sew? Is that a skill we've
Yeah.
covered?
I have
Yeah.
somebody.
Okay, well I'll be back in a little while. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy a lot of arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask about ammunition. Do I need to supply like all of my own, or is that a thing we have? Or
There's probably a pretty good backstock of ammo and stuff. But if you want some just for your personal use, just in case. But like ammo is something that's probably a pretty sizable chunk of things. Crossbow bolts and arrows and things. Probably, I'd say maybe like 1,000 or so on the boat.
okay.
And then
Sounds reasonable.
more could be crafted later.
I'm also going to buy more cloth of the same type that I'm wearing,
Okay.
so I can make replacement cloaks. I want to buy some stuff for tinkering for Amos. So like just various metals and those types of tinkering things, like not like huge, like they're not trying to make like weapons, they're trying to make like springs and gears and things like that.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff's probably there.
Okay.
Because that's stuff you'll be wanting and needing to use in the new place anyway.
Just like raw materials like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Coils, wire, cable. That's probably a good chunk of the 3.8 tons left in the cargo allowance.
And then
Could I
if I
pay to
assume that
get?
all of my craftspeople have their tools already.
Could I get a holy symbol carved into my longbow, or attached to it?
Yeah, probably.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
All right, that's fair. Set him on a shield, carved into your longbow.
Would we have traps, like bear traps and things along that line?
Yeah, that's probably under miscellaneous tools. Or forestry tools. Most of like the base supplies are accounted for. This is mostly just like.
Are we looking for like magic items?
If you want like a fancier armor, stuff like that, that's personal to you. Things like that. Like if you want a different sword or like a masterwork, something or other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can there be? I don't remember the rules in 3.5, like masterwork tools.
I guess masterwork tools are. I think it's a +2 bonus when you're using them or something. Let me check. Artisan tools, masterwork are +2 bonus on craft checks.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I just finally got there.
So what masterwork is just
It's
to
better.
make better things?
Yes, they're just higher quality. Like a masterwork armor. Let me find and make sure I'm getting this right. I think it's reduces the penalty. A masterwork weapon gives a +1 bonus on attack rolls. A spike shield can be used as weapons. Masterwork armor has lessened armor check penalties. So, stuff that that penalizes you, you get a instead of -X, it's X -1 for the penalty. So, like a suit of full plate is a -6 armor check penalty. A masterwork full plate would be -5. So anything that has an armor check penalty, like swimming, move silently, or whatever, the different things that get penalized for being a certain type of armor is reduced.
What's arcane spell failure?
You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Because you're a divine caster. If you're wearing armor and you're a arcane caster, most of the time you have to roll a percentile die, and if you roll below that percent, you fail. You just lose the spell because they're not able to perform the proper like somatic components. They're not able to move their hands properly or whatever, you know. So like I think bards can wear light armor and don't have to suffer the arcane failure chance when they're in light armor, but like a wizard would, because they're not used to it.
Okay, can I get a? Do I need to buy a whole new set, or can I upgrade my current scale mail to masterwork?
You would have to buy a new set.
Okay, how much would that cost?
Let me double check the price. An extra 150 over the normal cost. So a masterwork, you said scale mail?
Yeah.
Is 200. And then a masterwork longbow. Let me check the masterwork weapon prices. Is 300 to the cost. Yes. So a masterwork longbow would be. Let me go back a couple pages to the actual weapon cost. Would be. Where is it? It would be 375.
Okay. 375. And what are composites?
A composite longbow lets you use your strength instead of dex for things.
Oh, okay. So it just basically makes it a variant.
Yeah, it's just a
Weapon.
different weapon. Basically, it's not even like a variant. It's basically its own thing. Let me find the actual weapon description. Arrows, battle axe. Is it just under longbow maybe in the book? Oh, there. Oh, it's longbow, composite. Composite bows are made with a strength rating. You have to be certain strong to use them. A composite longbow can be made with a high strength rating to take advantage of an above average strength score. This allows you to add your strength bonus to damage up to the maximum bonus indicated for the bow. So
if I remember correctly, I think
strength
most
to
of the
the
time.
damage, not the attack.
What was that, Trina?
So you add the strength to the damage, not the attack.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, most of the time with ranged weapons like bows, you just don't add anything to the damage.
Yes,
So that's the
I
benefit
believe
of having
so.
a composite longbow.
Yeah.
So are there like prerequisites for the masterworks, or if I buy
It's just a cost thing.
it, I can just use it?
Yes. If you can buy, if you can afford it, you can just use it. It's just a higher quality item. It's just more pricey, but better. And then, like, if you were to craft it, it would take longer to make because the cost is higher.
I think I'm probably also gonna buy. So what about a Masterwork backpack? How much does that cost?
That's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
I'm looking at it right now. A backpack is a leather.
Yeah, it's on the list.
The Masterwork backpack makes the player's strength score count as if it was one higher.
That's not.
Actually, I don't think it'll be useful because it won't bump me up anyway.
I'd say I don't think that's a thing in the default book. That's probably something from another source. That's yeah, no, that's not a thing in the default book, which I physically have in my hand. So I can't tell you. It's probably listed in the description if you're looking in Foundry.
Yeah, how much did a barrel of holy water cost? How long would it last?
Let's do some math here. Holy water is, I think it's a pint. A flask of holy water. Flask flat. Yeah, it's a flask. So a flask. Ink Club. A flask is 1 pint of liquid, and a barrel. It always comes back to barrels. Why does it always come back to barrels?
They're so
Always
useful
barrels
for
in the
carrying
end.
things.
Let me pick getting an amount of armor. You know, this one might be easier to look up in the compendium. Templates, powers, feats, items. A barrel isn't listed with. It doesn't say how much it carries. God damn it. Well, let's see.
Not helpful.
Barrel empty. Special substances. Tools and skills. Goods and service. Yeah, it goes in the book. It goes backpack, bedroll, blanket, caltrops. Even though you can buy a barrel, I want to know. I think a barrel is normally what, 30 gallons.
I have no idea.
Yeah, 31 point.
I feel like there's such a range of barrels.
40 gallons. So that's 40 gallons to pints. 2 pints, and then a flask is 320. A flask of holy water costs 25 gold pieces. So 320 times 25, 8,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
I mean, you could partially fill a barrel if you wanted to.
Probably be easier to make it.
Isn't it a thing that technically any water you add holy water to becomes holy as well? So you really only need like a little vial.
Well, that's
that's more
real
like-
life.
Yeah.
Where
it doesn't actually have like magical properties against undead or things.
Yeah, because clerics have the spell create holy water.
Yeah.
My funniest bad D&D take was that somebody said that if health potions were real, they wouldn't be $5,000. They'd be much cheaper. And it's like, you are just flat out wrong.
Yeah.
I admire your optimism.
How do you look at like?
It must be great
Insulating
to see the
like
world that way.
Like, for
How do you know
real.
how insulin is priced and believe that?
Yeah. Oh, it's
Maybe
blessed.
they're not in America.
Let's see.
Yo,
fair
can I?
enough.
Less water costs 5 pounds of powdered silver as a material component, which is worth 25 gold pieces because it's sold at cost. So, I mean, if you just want to go convert a bunch of your silver to your platinum to silver and haul that on the boat with you.
Can I get a masterwork quarterstaff, or is that like an oxymoron?
No, that is a thing you can pay.
Yeah.
Like
It's a very
Okay.
pretty stick.
it's a very
I got
it's,
you.
it's made out of a high quality wood.
It's got a nice bend and flex.
Exactly.
Here's the thing is, I think I would already have a masterwork weapon. I would have forged my sword as a masterwork already.
That's fair. I will give you that one, Madison.
Can I have it for free?
I will give you that one because you are in fact a smith.
Can I have it for free?
You probably would have in fact already paid for that. Anyway, yes, if you just want to pay 300 gold for a masterwork quarterstaff, JJ, go ahead.
So then, how do I take the great sword that I currently have and make it a masterwork?
You'll probably just have to add a new.
No,
a new
you
one.
just click the edit button where you went to add attack, go to
Mhm.
details, and if you scroll down, there will be a little check mark that says masterwork.
Wonderful. Excellent. This is good software.
Yes.
On a slightly similar note to that, this one might be a little more of a stretch. Melody is a bard who uses a hurdy-gurdy that she and Teroko made, mostly herself though.
I mean, that one's something that really doesn't matter much.
Yeah.
In like the long run, that's fine also.
Cool. Thanks.
Those are
Cameron, can
things
I
you
get the-
specifically crafted.
I think I'm
Can I
gonna
get the
need
price?
more time than right now to figure out the rest of the ways to spend my money.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
fair.
I also will.
That's also fair. We're just getting the what the hell is a masterwork weapon? This is new to us, and how much does it cost out of the way.
Can I get the prices for masterwork long sword and short sword?
A masterwork long sword would be 315. A masterwork short sword would be where is short sword? Would be 310. So 315, 310. So 625 altogether.
And then on top of the composite longbow +2, I'm at 925, which means I have $75 or 75 gold for a good night.
There you go.
How
I'm
does
clicking the box that says masterwork, and it doesn't appear to be changing anything.
It did change it in the item.
Okay, it did.
Yeah, I see it being ticked
Okay.
off as equipped, identified, and masterwork. If you make an attack with
Awesome.
it, what happens? Let's just do a single attack. 1d20 plus 3 plus 1. So it is adding the masterwork bonus in there.
Okay, excellent.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Would a construction sledgehammer be equivalent to a warhammer, or is a warhammer a better quality, sturdier for combat purposes?
Well, a warhammer is a hammer designed for war. So
Yes.
I would assume it's probably sturdier for combat purposes
Okay.
than a construction hammer.
I mean, you can always just say, "Hey, this is a warhammer," and in this game, it looks like a construction hammer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I was just thinking because one of my dudes is like a construction worker, so going into a fight with a sledgehammer made sense to me.
I mean,
didn't
it would
know
probably just be statted as a warhammer,
Yeah, it would
Okay.
just look
like a sledgehammer. Yeah, it's just a sturdier
But
than
that's
normal
one of your
sledgehammer.
NPCs anyway, right?
Okay. What?
Is that one of the NPCs or is it one of the?
That's one of my secondary characters, which are technically NPCs right now, but like, for future, I just
Yeah,
wanted to know.
that's why I cared about Melody.
That's fine. It can just be a warhammer that's just flavored as a construction hammer. It's just a sturdy hammer.
I can't think of what to buy.
Yeah,
other
I
than
think
Masterwork armor and.
I think my main question, Cameron, in terms of like spending money for this is we said that magic is kind of clockwork related in this, right? Or was it something else?
Yeah, kind of steampunky,
It was like
clockworky,
steampunky.
Okay.
kind of
Is,
similar vibes.
We had also talked about
A little
having
bit
our
like
NPCs
alchemical stuff. Would probably make a lot of sense too.
Okay. We had talked about having our NPCs kind of generate magic items and stuff for us while we were out exploring, so I guess my main concern is making sure that what sort of materials would I need to buy right now to try and make sure he has as much, or they have as much stuff as possible.
Most of that stuff would just be considered part of the stuff that's already being supplied as things that you'd need for whatever.
wasn't-
Beyond up to a certain point. Like you've got so much tonnage of raw materials, basically.
Yeah,
And then
I guess I
that'll
wasn't sure if it was like needed special oh, you don't just need like iron, you need like stainless steel
No.
or
No, like necessarily specific things. I mean, you will need the majority of your raw materials for mundane items and things like cookware, nails, stuff like that you're not going to necessarily bring with you because you don't know how many you need in this new place. So you will have to try to find certain raw materials and then refine them, but it's not like you need to have this specific alloy of this composite, 5% carbon, 20% chromium, 75% iron, steel,
that was the
or
thing
something.
that I was most worried about trying to buy before we leave.
Yeah, most of that stuff is kind of taken care of as these are things that these people will need in the new lands, in the new world. This money is basically just like treat yourselves.
Okay.
Then
I don't really have a treat yourself. I can't really use any weapons, and
You're
I
just
can't wear
loading up
armor.
on vitamins.
I mean, you could buy a
We get
fuck
so
ton of
much
Masterwork Shuriken.
I could
There are
do that, but I feel
enhancements.
like that doesn't fit into my guy's character. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Art enhancements.
I was looking at getting a weapon because it's gonna be like a new place, so I feel like having a thing that can cut might be good. But I feel like going the extra mile and getting a fucking masterwork dagger to cut some rope every so often is too much.
I mean, it doesn't have to be Masterwork. You can just buy a dagger.
I want an animated shield.
If only.
I'm reading the enhancements, and the only protection it would give me is the fact that I'd be able to use a longbow and a shield at the same time.
You don't have to worry
you
about
get-
your hands.
You get all the negatives of using a shield. You just can use both of your hands.
Sounds about right. Anyway, shopping
problem-
over, saying goodbye to your families, presumably. except for Hector.
Well, I'm not
Nope.
saying goodbye to my families because all my family's coming
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a couple family units here.
Found families also.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know if there's. I don't think any of my characters have family saying bye to.
Everyone's really
Y'all
like.
just
My
happen to me.
characters exclusively have family, but they don't need to say bye.
Everyone's like, man, fuck this. I'm going to go to the new place because I hate my real family and have nothing else to deal with. Hi, kitty. Oh, you need fed, don't you?
You will all be a part of Hector's family before too long. Don't worry about it.
Also,
Hector
I
is
kind
going
of,
to father the shit out of all of you, except maybe Taraka.
I kind of imagine that like
Taraka,
a lot of my team like traveled a lot anyway, so like anybody who might have had families probably said bye to them a while ago. Like none of them are going to be in this town to say bye to.
I have to say, the one D&D character, or the few D&D characters that have families, are like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going across the ocean to a brand new continent together to live together. Instead of like, oh yeah, I left my family at home to go adventuring. They're like, I brought my family with me to go adventuring.
No, fuck that. I'm bringing them.
You're coming with me. Wholesome. Anyway, I'm
We're
gonna go.
all
Yes,
adventurers here.
wholesome is the main descriptor of Hector.
I'm gonna go feed my cat.
I guess my characters would say goodbye to their parents, but they're all kind of like out of the house and old and stuff, and probably in a different city.
They wrote him a letter.
They were in a
There you go. That's what they're doing. They're writing letters, cursing out their enemies, saying "fuck you." I'm never gonna see you again anyway. Go.
Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck
BT
you,
dubs.
Dad. I hate
Fuck
you.
you, Dad, from him. And fuck you, Dad, from him.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec.
Ah,
You dead?
no, I knocked the thing over.
Shit happens.
It was a small thing, and it wasn't actually like a problem. I just didn't realize it was in a position to befall.
And I
I
dropped my
thought
dress off for alterations today.
Woo!
Took it to the lady at the Vietnamese store.
We didn't do my measurements. We should do that tomorrow.
Okay. Jordan's buying a suit.
Fancy.
Yeah, I don't actually have a suit.
He's
I have,
always worn like his grandpa's hand-me-downs.
yeah, pretty much.
So getting a big boy suit.
Yeah. I'll be a kid.
Adam
I'm a
is
big kid
still in
now.
the fluctuating weight period. So we're renting a suit.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. It's not bad. With shoes, it was like $150 for like shirt, pants, vest, tie, pocket square, and shoes.
Is it
And
like a
jacket.
suit or like a tux?
Suit. It has a jacket.
I mean, tuxes have jackets too.
They're just tuxes defined by the tie that you wear.
Oh,
Pretty much.
is it?
Pretty much.
I think
I
it's
feel like the
I think it's
jacket is a different
I think it's a
shape.
different cut of jacket.
That's fair.
A tuxedo has satin on the lapel of the jacket.
Is that literally what it is?
That's what FriarTux.com says.
I
Fire
also
truck.
World-renowned
I
expert
also
Friar
Googled
Tuck.
And
suit
want
versus
satin
tux.
on
And
my
MyTuxedoCatalog.com.
regular
What?
What if I want satin on the lapel of my regular suit?
Well, I guess
Then
it'll
I'm
be a
wearing
tuxedo.
tie all
Under
the
a suit.
time? That's lame. Like I can afford satin.
Anyway, I'm eating a cookie right now, so give me a second.
Yeah.
Wish I
Can
had
I
a
have
cookie. Did you
cookies?
bring enough to share?
Oh,
I mean-
still have-
My cat doesn't eat cookies. and there's no one else here, so yes.
Maybe in the future we'll have digital transference. You can teleport them to us.
I'd be more
I don't
okay
know if I
teleporting
want that.
food than myself.
Yeah, like what could go wrong in a teleporter? It doesn't really apply to a cookie.
And also
might-
transferring
it might-
consciousness.
I feel like it would be possible for it to
Bitch,
come out
put the fuck down.
poisoned or something.
I don't know.
Some
I know
some
that a sandwich would probably come out pretty fucked up because it's got so many different ingredients.
Different components.
I mean, I don't think that's really the issue with it. Like, if you can teleport one thing, I feel like you can teleport multiple things that are stacked on top of each other.
I guess. I was
can
just thinking that, like,
trade.
the fly and shit like that.
People and
Or,
living
like,
things is more you've basically just built a one-way cloner.
Yeah. You cloned him and then you killed the old one.
The problem Adam has with teleportation is at what point are you you, and what point are you
Unless we can figure out how to teleport, like, all the particles in the body, and not just, like, reconstruction. You know?
That feels
What's
like
the
a
boat
lot
that
more
I'm
work.
thinking of?
Yes.
The ship of Theseus.
Yeah,
I
that
think
one.
we
Yeah.
should just learn how to transfer consciousness, and then we should just have multiple bodies in different places.
At that point, I
Someone
feel
else
like
transfer.
Here's my home body, my work body.
Yeah, basically.
That'll be great because the work body will get sore, and I'll come home, and the home body will still be fine.
I just love that you can say that you're literally a homebody.
What would be great
This is my
if you
clubbing
had, like,
body.
a charging station. So
I
you
was
could
literally just
so
thinking, and
before
then
you
there's the
leave work,
going
you
out
put it on
body
the
that's
charging
like more
station and
that's
transfer
more
to the
prettied
home
up
body.
than the other bodies.
never have to do your makeup.
There's
It's not
literally
gonna
a
get
Doctor
ruined.
Who episode like this, actually.
There's like a Doctor Who episode for like everything.
That's true, but there's like the island with the episode where they have like the special clone bodies on fucking
Oh yeah,
an
and the
island because they can't.
factory or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like
Mhm.
contaminated or something.
They become
Yep.
aware and they're like, we're not disposable. We are people.
We are people.
That was a good episode.
We are
It was good
legend. Anyway, cookie eaten. Sad
Yeah,
letters.
Maybe
Go ahead.
I just can't see the price for masterwork tools besides artisans tools. Like,
Pretty
I
much
was-
everything is an artisan tool.
I was looking at thieves tools.
Oh, I think they're the same price.
I can switch out
Thieves
healing
tools
spell.
masterwork is listed. What was that? Lightning.
I can switch out any healing spells for each spell slot, right?
You can switch out any spell to a healing spell.
Okay.
Of
So
the-
I don't
except
have
for
to...
your domain spell.
I feel
Yeah.
like he just said that, but I'm not sure.
It did. He was just
Thieves tools
clarifying
masterwork
my-
100.
No, I think you guys said the same things. But
We did. He was
I was
clarifying.
I was
by
confirming.
repeating it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he
Oh,
didn't.
shit, Hannah,
use
but
the
I also
word
did
as
clarify
affirmation,
because-
he just said
Well,
the whole thing again.
Lightning seemed to understand, which was the person that needed to understand.
But I also
Okay.
did clarify that
Sorry.
he can't do it to his domain spells.
Mhm.
That those cannot be switched over. Anyway, it's 100 gold pieces, Trevor.
I finally found it. It was the fact that like that chart like broke off mid-page and then
Yeah.
came on the next one.
It took me a second too, because my eyes immediately went to clothing.
I just saw that and I was like, yeah, clothing, food, drink. That's not what I want. I want the tools.
Yeah. Anyway, after writing bitter letters to everyone you hate and appropriately postmarking them to be delivered after you are safely on the ocean, purchasing high-quality gear for yourselves, and spending a night on the town, you all eventually, just before dawn, make your way to the harbor to be greeted by a man in kind of a fine, like, velvet long jacket. Blue, like kind of a deep navy blue with gold buttons. Very similar to Captain Crunch in appearance.
Not uncrunch like.
No, instead of like just the mustache, though, he's got like a full-on beard mustache combo.
Is this a regular human dude or?
Yes.
Like the travel commercial guy.
Oh, Captain Obvious.
He's like if you took Captain Crunch and mixed him with Santa Claus in like facial appearance.
Santa Crunch.
He's not a very large man though, like Santa. He's more on the Captain Crunch body size shape thing. And he sees you all.
Triangular?
No, he'll just cut the roof of your mouth if you try to eat him.
Charity, are you trying to go Captain Crunch?
What?
Charity just rolled a longbow attack.
I was testing stuff out. Yeah, I'm shooting him. Die.
Charity fucking hits Captain Crunch.
And does 5
That's gotta be the fastest we have ever derailed a campaign.
All this work, all these maps I've made, just down the toilet.
Down the toilet. We're now criminals running through the streets of this place.
You've all sent out your
We're
letters to
ignoring.
hated people, and
right.
you've got a bunch of people who are going to come after you because you're like, fuck you, I hate you.
We start murdering things and become ultra powerful, and
This is, you all change your identities in classes when we go back to 5th edition.
wow, I was once
familiar
Charity, and
about that.
now my name is Felix.
You know, of
This
all
is
the
all
characters,
Freddy.
that's
It's
the
like
one
evil
that makes
again.
the most sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was like, actually, I mean,
Anyway, he kind of comes and greets you all as you're presumably very groggily waking up and walking through the harbor.
No, I wake up this early all the time.
And he kind of laughs, slaps,
great.
kind of puts his hand on his belly and goes, "Ah, you're ready to be a sailor then." Anyway, you can call me Captain Michael.
What time does Yabo get up typically? 5:30?
Sure.
What's Yabo's morning routine? Wake up, do
How
some
many
push-ups,
hours of workout has he already done?
body calisthenics, like body weight
What's his
exercises.
Tinder looking like?
Probably something like that. Then he might go for a run, maybe make a shake.
Yeah, I
or
was gonna ask
something.
how many grams of protein consumed thus far today.
Yabo has really lost track of time and was just happening to be running by the harbor and seeing everyone, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta be here."
You know, I realized Terrico's probably also wakes up at 5, but that's because he gets tuckered out at 8 p.m.
That sounds about right. Anyway,
I suppose my brothers are probably groggily in the crowd or something.
yeah, this kind of large group of people, kind of amassed. You guys are kind of standing in the front, being introduced. He's like, "Anyway, I'm Captain Michael. I am the captain of this ship, the Golden Rod. Pleasure to have all of you on board."
Thank you.
And he kind of looks at everyone. He looks down at a little pocketbook he takes out of his jacket. It says, "Yabo, Corum, Terrico, Charity Hector."
Did he actually
Yep.
point to us, or was he just listing names?
He's kind of looking at each of you and trying to match the face to the name. And he kind of looks to each of you and does that thing for like 2 or 3 more times. Says, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now that I've got all your names down, don't guarantee I'll remember them, but I'll try my best. Pleasure to have you all aboard. Now, are we ready to all set sail?"
Aye, aye,
Sure.
Captain.
He leads
Yep.
you.
Let's go fight the beasties!
He kind of looks at you, kind of quizzically, and gestures you all to the gangplank. He kind of steps up on a pretty sizable crate, and kind of loudly addresses everyone else who's not you. And he goes, "I'm Captain Michael, and I run a tight ship. clean up after yourselves, make sure you do what you're told, so everything will run smoothly on this trip. Once we make it to the new land and you all depart, we will probably never cross paths again. But until then, you are all under my watchful eye and under my primary control, your individual team leaders, Terrico, Yabo, Coram, Charity, and Hector, who have already boarded the ship. Their orders are important, but they do not supersede mine when it comes to the boat and what to be doing on it. Do we understand? Kind of murmurs amongst the crowd. And then you hear a loud, kind of thunderous boom as he claps his hand together and just kind of echoes for a loud time. He says, "Any questions? No? Good. Welcome aboard the Goldenrod, and we'll have a fine 6 weeks ahead of us." As he steps down off the crate, kind of dusts off his front, and walks his way onto the ship. The next few
Cameron, I
minutes...
just want to tell you, the Goldenrod is a really good ship name.
Thank you. The next few minutes are kind of hectic as his crewmates and all of the kind of hired hands, the 100 or so people that aren't part of your group, are loading on the last bit of cargo, making sure everything's secured, there's enough food, Fiora keeping inventory, and everything. Goldenrod kind of comes up to you afterwards and says, "Well, I'm sorry to let you all know, but unfortunately we don't have special quarters for you. You will all be sleeping in the belly of the ship as this is a cargo vessel. We're not equipped for large numbers of passengers. As is such, you all are all the cargo. So you go and sleep where the cargo is. Feel free to come aboard deck, but stay out of the way. I'm sure you heard me address the peons below you, that they are to listen to me when it comes to matters of the ship, and stay out of the way."
This family being referred to as peons.
Damn, bro, there's 145 of us motherfucking people in this goddamn cargo space.
Plus all the cargo, animals, and
Orders,
food.
right?
That'll be fine, Captain Goldenrod. And Charity turns and yells, "Amos! You're gonna have to go make the fort!"
Make the fort? He kind of looks at you and... What do you mean, make the fort?
She just smiles. I'll be right back. And she's gonna walk onto the ship and go down and help Amos make the fort.
I guess I was assuming that making the fort would be something that would happen on the ship.
Like, below the deck of the ship.
Yeah, are you making like
I
a
see.
blanket fort?
Yes.
Okay. That's what all that extra cloth was for. He kind of looks at the rest of...
Greystones are stringing up some hammocks.
Okay. You guys are getting your kind of family units organized and situated.
There it is. Go help her.
The Bennetts climb on some fucking like stacks of boxes and lay out their bedrolls.
Okay, yeah, the next few minutes are kind of hectic, like I said, as everyone's loading and unloading cargo. The kind of hired hands, the peons, as Captain Michael addressed them, are kind of trying to find their own space amongst the chaos. And
I imagine there's got to be some people laying inside the animal pens, right?
probably,
Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough space.
I mean, I'm sure we've got some farmers and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I
my
like to
person.
imagine there's somebody
Cars get
sleeping
some
on the
the
back
fuck
of
out
the
of there.
cow.
You see a 5'10" ginger just shooing people out of the fucking animal spaces.
Is it a mobile bookmark? I'm trying to find that. There it is. Food and rations. Anyway, a few minutes after dawn,
There's just
you
fucking
hear
piles of people.
a couple loud, high-pitched whistles as the it's like a paddle boat, as the paddle wheel begins slowly turning on each side of the ship, splashing water. The whistling of steam.
And we aren't to steamboats yet? I was about to say.
and the goldenrod departs. What are you guys kind of doing in the 6 weeks? How are you guys trying to pass the time? Just think about that for a minute while I tell you what your daily rations are and your weekly food. So each day you guys are allotted about half a kilogram of half hard tack. You each are given a gallon of beer. And for the week, you each are eating 2 kilograms of salt beef, a kilogram of salt pork. You're allotted a liter of peas, 1.5 liters of oatmeal and wheat, 170 grams of butter, and 340 grams of cheese. Breakfast is
Not bad for ship food.
Breakfast is hot porridge with a beef stock soup and I don't know what scurvy grass is. That wasn't mentioned before, but scurvy grass.
It's just lemongrass.
I assume some sort of like vitamin C enriched thing.
Yeah.
Let's Google. Well, let's do some learning. Scurvy grass is Cochlearia, is a species of 30 annual and perennial herbs. History and uses. It's raw, edible, cooked with a phlegm. It's similar to cress. The leaves are rich in vitamin C. Results, so, yes. It's basically an herb that's rich in vitamin C. Your lunch is...
How the fuck how do you figure that out in, like, the olden days?
Well, you don't know that's because it has vitamin C. You just know if we eat this, then we don't get scurvy.
Yeah.
How did they figure that out?
Because
By eating it,
because
and no
they're, like,
longer
Not
getting
getting
scurvy.
scurvy.
Yeah,
Like
because...
how people figure out everything about food. They ate it.
Yeah, for real.
So there was a boat full of people who were like, let's eat this grass. And then all of a sudden they didn't get scurvy and they told their buddies at the harbor.
Yeah,
and they were
and
like,
what do you think happened in real life?
I mean, there are also ways to get scurvy when you're not on a boat. So probably people figured out before they got on a boat and then brought it to the boat once it started to become a problem.
I mean, it tastes like cress, and Penny the Elder in
Oh god, not Penny the Elder.
Penny the Elder,
Don't listen to anything he
23 to
says.
79, writes in his natural history about a disease suffered by Roman soldiers in Germany. Their symptoms were those of scurvy, and he recommends an herb which was suggested to have been scurvy grass. So this is just a thing people have known about for a long time.
Okay, but don't listen to Penny the Elder. He thought that if a horse stepped in the track of a wolf, the horse would explode.
I mean, I've never seen a horse stuck in the trap of a wolf, so it might.
The problem with Pliny is that he would just write down anything about anything. And so some of it, like, yeah, he's right about. Like, okay, he got scurvy down, but then other shit is like that.
I mean, I respect
And
it.
there's just so much of it.
did he see, like, a fucking landmine somehow? Like, it got exploded by a cannon? It just happened to be near a wolf
Yeah,
trap?
Pliny the Elder got exploded by a cannon.
No, the horse. The horse got exploded by a cannon, and he was like, oh my god, it stepped on a wolf track.
Okay, the issue wasn't with whether Pliny was the one getting exploded, it was with the existence of the cannon.
Penny the Elder
Probably cannons back in the day.
was
I don't think there were.
When was he around? When was he around?
23 to 79 AD.
2379.
23 to
Yeah, it's
79
Pliny the
AD.
Elder.
They had cannons back then, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Ye old Roman cannons.
China produced the
They
first
did have
cannon in the
cannon. Or, like,
12th
they had.
and 13th. JJ, 12th and 13th century.
cannons needed black powder.
So it was only about 1,000 years early.
It's fine.
I thought that the Romans did have something like that, though.
They had
Trebuchets, maybe, or catapults.
yeah.
Maybe not even trebuchets, to be honest.
I could have sworn they had something that shot out explosive.
No, what you're thinking of is a Roman candle.
Well, no, because the Chinese had fireworks back then.
The
don't know if
Chinese
they
did
had
not
that
have
long.
cannons until the 12th century.
But they had fireworks before that, did they not?
I don't think they had it back in 29 AD.
And if they did, how would Pliny have known about it?
Honestly, okay, I just googled it real quick and I could be wrong. It says
Second century BC. But also, the other side of the continent.
Yeah, they sailed across everywhere, dude. The Chinese were
Not the
trading with the
Romans.
Romans,
The Romans
and the
didn't get that
fucking
far.
they traded with the
Oh,
Arabs, and the
okay.
Arabs
Here it
traded
is.
with the
Here it
Romans.
is. So the 200 BC, people threw bamboo stems into fire to produce an explosion with the loud sounds. Later,
All of
later, gunpowder was packed into containers used to mimic the sounds of burning bamboo. So,
But it certainly would not explode a horse.
yeah. Unless
Okay,
unless that wolf track also happened to have a large fire of bamboo below it.
Now that I'm reading it more, it says sometime during the period of 600 to 900 AD, legend has it that a Chinese alchemist mixed together stuff to create the first gunpowder. Even the Chinese still were 600 years later.
Chinese
and
monks
plenty
discovered
beyond.
this is brown.edu says 9th century CE Chinese monks discovered the technology. So just a few hundred years off. But anyway, I've never seen a horse step in the track of a wolf, so they might just blow up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't disconfirm it.
It requires further testing. I need a wolf and a horse.
He just talked about shit that nobody knew about, so they were like, okay, yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem there. Anyway,
It's police says so, it must be true.
your dinner was anything you saved from lunch, and then 3 days a week, there was peas pudding or dried fish or cheese was substituted instead of meat. And once a week, you have a boiled raisin pudding.
Ooh.
Yum.
Fancy.
So there are chickens on board, so presumably you also have chickens and things.
Probably eggs.
Eggs, yeah. Fresh milk from goats and the cows. But
So overall, as far as ship life goes, we're eating okay.
yeah.
We at least have
honestly-
kind of a variety.
Like, honestly, we've probably had worse food most D&D campaigns when we've just been doing generic rations.
I mean, you're also eating generic rations pretty much right now. But this is something I learned. Apparently, most of the seasickness was probably not from the actual seasickness, but from people just getting sick from the food. So
Makes
on
sense.
that note, I'd like everyone to roll some fortitude saves for me.
I like that less.
But also,
Yeah, don't know if any of these dwarves have ever been on a boat
Is
before.
fortitude a constitution thing, or is that somewhere on the skills?
it's a saving
I
throw.
think it's its own save, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terrico.
Oof.
I'll give you
Where's the
+2
Wi-Fi?
against your +2 against poison there, Hector.
Oh, I don't have fortification. Okay.
You do.
So it gives me an 11.
What?
It's one of your saves in the middle of your summary. I'll just do it
Should be
for
right
you.
below AC,
My
JJ.
summary.
You got a 22. Oh,
Oh, good. Thank you. You can keep that 22. Let me check the real quick.
I'll accept it because you're learning, but no, that's your one. Anyway, Hector and Corum. Oh no, Hector got above a 10. Corum, it is a rough first couple weeks for you getting used to this food and to the seasickness. You're spending probably an hour a day going back and forth, retching over the side of the boat. It is not pleasant. But beyond that, being sick for the first couple weeks until your stomach normalizes to this type of food, because you're used to, fresh game and things, not salted barrels of briny, awful food that's being topped up with seawater whenever the liquid starts getting low. What's everyone doing? How are you spending your time trying to pass the kind of boring days at sea?
I think that we are all working on, obviously very small scale versions of our crafts. I think we're making silverware. Our textile guy is just making like some regular clothes, small projects like this, but keeping our hands busy.
Yeah, just kind of practical
Just
things.
small practical items.
Okay,
Yeah, just
yeah.
stuff we will need.
Kind of cold working things. Shearing
Yeah.
shearing sheets of metal, twisting wire and stuff. Nothing complicated. Okay, that's a pretty good use of your time. Good way to pass it.
Uh,
I think.
But we do,
I'd
you
say-
know.
You can go first, Jordan.
I'd say Charity is she's probably in the bottom of the boat, probably inspecting the mold, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because I know that this ship has mold somewhere in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
100%. And she's probably just seeing if it's any different. It's probably not, but she's just inspecting stuff. She's kind of bored.
Okay. That reminds me. I'll circle back to this after everyone does what they're doing now.
Terraco's
I
team...
shudder to think what the mold has reminded Cameron of.
fair point. Terraco's team, I think in the first couple days, Terraco and especially Lathril and Denitha, who are quote-unquote peons. Lathril's an elf, Denitha is a dwarf.
The peons aren't your guys' helpers. The peons are the 100 hired hands. The
okay.
generic
Definitely thought he
laborers.
meant the other ones, and he definitely called Melody a peon.
No, no. He was referring to the 100
I
extra
had
hands.
also thought that.
No, he
I had
he
also thought
respects
that. Hector was offended.
he respects like your guys' groups more than the others because you're the ones who are like in charge of actually landing there. While you guys are in charge of you're like 5 people. You're like 5 people are in charge of the
And then
hired
they're
hands.
in charge of the peons.
Yes, exactly.
For the first few days, Terraco, Lathril, and Danitha tried to organize sleeping quarters to be as comfortable as possible amongst the cargo, like planning things out and trying to... Lathril and Danitha gently move people to some degree, Terraco just being like, you gotta listen to your elders! I'm telling you this is a better spot for you! You're farther away from the pigs! And then after getting that as comfortable as possible within the ship, they started mapping out plans for a potential town of like where like the blacksmithy should go and making sure that's far away from like a hay storage area and that sort of thing. Just trying to map out a prospective town.
Okay. Just kind of conceptualizing.
Yeah, and Melody probably spends a lot of the time playing on her hurdy-gurdy. Which, if people ask what it is, she introduces it as a hurdy-gurdy that she has named Belladonna.
Okay.
Cool.
I have a question. I feel like I should know the answer, but I cannot recall. What is a hurdy-gurdy?
It is a sort of almost like ukulele, like violin-sized instrument, except for it has like a hand crank that like produces like most of the sound. I think it still
Kind
uses
of
like
acts as
frets.
like a type of like bow, sort of almost.
Kind of like the thing that the you see with the monkey dancing.
You've seen one
Like
before.
turn
a little
the corn
different.
and
Yeah,
the
look it
people
up.
dance.
You'll recognize it.
I just put an image.
Look it up.
I
You'll
just put
recognize
I
it.
just put a picture in Discord.
Okay.
Damn, Yep, that's the exact one I was gonna bring up.
It was like, the
Oh,
first
okay.
one's like just a normal picture, but then it's like, oh, this guy's got a guy holding it. Let's go with that
Yeah,
one.
so it shows a little more how you play.
This is probably a better image for what she's actually got. What I would imagine is a little more ornate.
That was the next one I was gonna put in.
And then let's see if
Okay.
I can go 3 for 3. Anyway, so she's
Yeah,
just
I
kind
imagine it probably looks a little closer to the middle one. It's very fancy because she spent a lot of time on it.
all right. Quorum Yabo.
Yeah.
Would there be the how far up is the ship? Would there be the possibility of fishing off the side of it?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's something that could definitely you could do.
I split my group between taking care of the animals downstairs and fishing off the side to hopefully bring something edible that
Fresh food.
fucking Quorum can eat. Yep.
Fresh food. Okay. Yeah. That's fair. You kind of get used, like I said, you kind of get used to the food after a while. Your stomach settles. After you get your
I
sea
forget, are
legs
you
and
an elf?
things.
Yes.
But The fishing definitely helps, and most of the crew and stuff are helpful to have like a little bit of like fish stew and fresh stuff that's not just salted pork in barrels being topped up with seawater. Yabo.
Yavo's probably exercising on the deck a lot of the time.
Okay, just kind of exercising, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, maybe doing some just
Maybe you're like training your peons and stuff.
maybe giving everybody a nice lesson in how to treat their body. We're doing like yoga or
I'm about to say
something.
leading
I was
people
just
in
gonna say,
yoga.
he makes sure to wake up early enough to get on deck to do sun salutation as the sun is rising.
Yep.
And then
How is he faring without his daily morning green juice?
probably a little less great than Cameron's number.
A lot of his gold went to getting 6 months of kale to have every morning for a smoothie.
He made sure to find he made sure to find someone who could like quickly dehydrate a bunch of stuff.
A barrel of pre-workout.
And then the brothers are probably the talky one is just going around just talking everybody's ear off and trying to figure out who everybody is, and then the other one is probably just going around helping coordinate.
Okay. Sounds about right. Anyway, what the mold reminded me of wasn't really the mold. It was what was more. Oh yeah, this is a thing I was going to let you guys do. I was gonna say, I'm going to give you a budget of. Let's go with 20 XP to make some basic magic items, either from your level 1 spells, on your cleric list, lightning, or any kind of wizard cantrip. If you go to in the folder of the D&D stuff, you can look at it's 287 in the DMG.
I must go to the bathroom.
I also must go to the bathroom.
For the costs of things, based on level and what it is. So I'll give you 20 XP to deal with that. So you can take a look at those. Like I said, wizard cantrips or your cleric spells. I'll be what I'll let you do that with. Beyond that,
again?
287.
287. Okay.
It might be a little different in the PDF. I think the way the PDF is counted, it might be like 288, 289.
Okay.
But that's the page for magic item cost creation. So.
Okay, great. I'll probably say that that's actually what Gwyn is doing most of the time.
Helping with that. Yeah, that's fair. So, I'll let you guys take a look at those spells if you want anything in particular. Go ahead and it's 20 for the whole group, so discuss what stuff you'd be working on.
Oh, for the whole group.
Yeah, not individually.
I hadn't quite even gotten to the point to see how much XP things cost.
For the low level stuff, it's pretty cheap. Like a level 0 wand is 15 XP. But like scrolls are like 1 XP a piece, so like a single use thing are like 1 XP for level 0, 1 XP for level 1. For cleric, druid, and wizards. So you can take a look at that if you want to make like a wand, because wands have 50 charges.
Oh, okay.
50 uses, and that's why they're 15 XP. But that's why they're a little bit more for them. But the distinction there is, I think you have to be trained to use them. You need to have the spell on your list, or have use magic device.
I
believe.
It's in the DMG though, not.
Yes, it's DMG.
The wrong thing.
Yes.
Do we not need to factor in the monetary cost for this?
No, don't worry. You probably won't really have to worry about the monetary cost just in general, because it's more material cost and things. Because you have the resources on hand to do that. Da-da-da. So
We can basically make scrolls of like I can make scrolls of wizard cantrips is basically my option.
scrolls of wizard cantrips. If you want to help, or if Lightning wants to do like the cleric orisons or level 1 cleric spells, stuff like that. But
Okay.
yeah, wizard cantrips, mostly because that's seems like the kind of base tier without having to figure out what spells you guys actually know, or would have access to.
That makes sense.
Because you guys are the trained, high quality people. Like, you guys are the people who have adventurer levels. So your quote unquote wizard analog, who's with you, whoever that may be adjusted to, probably only has access to like the basic stuff, not anything higher. But as you guys advance in level and stuff, I'll probably open up more of those, or if you find like some sort of schematic or way to do something. But
if that's the case, I just realized, Madison, are you back?
Yeah.
At some point while you're building things, Gwyn probably introduces themselves to, said Hector's husband was the clockwork guy?
Yeah, that's Alejandro.
Okay, yeah. Gwyn also does a lot of clockwork and is what they're most interested in, so I imagine they probably work together on some of this stuff.
Yeah, let's get a collab going.
Gwyn is naturally very quiet, but is happy to work with Alejandro.
I will say, like, any sort of like real complicated clockwork stuff is going to be kind of difficult. But you could definitely make like components, like kind of the raw parts and things.
I was picturing Alejandro mostly making like very small scale, like little toys and things like that. Like, it's almost more of a hobby than...
Yeah, okay. A couple little like things that require springs and stuff. Nothing more than like 10 or so parts, probably, because you are on a boat that's rocking and things are happening. Question: do you guys see the results of things?
The weather?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Normal, inclement, normal.
I set it up to display rolls to chat as off, and maybe I have to hit update.
Normal again.
No, so why is it showing up in chat? Again. Why do you lie to me, game?
Maybe they don't consider that a roll.
Well, what it's doing
draws a result.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, I just wanted to get this into the thing. So anyway, let's get some let me get 1 percentile for the first week of travel. Oh no, that's inclement weather.
Oh, I'm sorry. I felt.
So, inclement weather. Shortly after your first week of travel, you've been out in the open ocean for a good 5-6 days or so. The tides start turning, winds begin picking up, the skies start darkening, and the seas kind of become much more tumultuous and much more hard to kind of balance. It's very hectic. It's very frantic as Captain Michael is directing his people to manage the different aspects of the ship, raising and lowering sails, making sure things are battened down, and stuff. So it makes it kind of difficult for the first week of travel. It's hard to deal with. But someone roll me another percentile. That eventually kind of calms.
Trina was ready with it.
She's always once the first one, and she's like, "There's going to be more." She's always on it. She's also been really quiet.
I have.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were muted on your headset or something.
Nope, I'm just.
You're just sitting there, just waiting.
Orm had the worst fucking week 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's completely fair.
That's why the food didn't sit with him.
Anyway, the first kind of week of travel, luckily it was only a couple days of storms, doesn't eat up too many of your extra supplies, because the weather kind of normalizes to a little more smooth seas for the early spring, kind of temperate, partly sunny. The occasional drizzle, but nothing that's noteworthy. Someone roll me another, please.
No, I don't. I almost accidentally rolled a D1004.
Beautiful.
The weather holds out for another week of smooth, consistent sailing. One more, please.
I feel like we're all trying to let someone new roll.
Weather holds out again. Kind of peaceable. The tension's kind of beginning to build as you know
Trina already did it.
as you know you're past the halfway point of the travel. People are getting to get a little more anxious, a little more cabin fever being trapped on the boat with 120 or 144 other people basically. But you're slowly arriving to the new continent. It's exciting. It's beginning to mount. One more, please.
Wait, what did I do wrong?
The
slash
slash
R.
comes first.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That probably was a typo or something. The weather
Yeah.
holds, temperate, sunny. Hopes are beginning to hold up as you guys slowly near the end of your 6-week journey can see off in the distance the beginnings of this new land. This as of yet unnamed land, as you guys are the new colonizers, and will eventually get that right once you think you've successfully tamed and controlled it. But not for weather this time. Someone just roll me a percentile.
I got you. I have the /R up.
But do you have the D100 up?
I did not.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Smooth, peaceable sailing as the ship makes its way into your predetermined landing destination. And I will... Oh.
Page.
A map.
Can you...
There's the map.
Do you see? Is it the world map you're seeing, or do you see the other small
World map, but if I see that on the left, it says new page in Cove, and I can click on Cove.
Go
and
to
I can see
Cove.
the smaller one.
Yep. That was the area you guys had decided you wanted to land in. Let me rename new page to new world. And I guess I don't think there's a way you could probably mark this.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Let me.
What's it?
You can open it up in
the
a
cove
window.
with
Let's
the
see.
slats
I
and the
can-
green.
Here, I can make a new scene for it, and I can just do it this way.
I mean, Oh, I might have been a fool out of it. I know how to open it. I mean, the dot was between, like, tree line and plains, right?
There we go. You guys can see this new on a bigger scale. Oh no, I hit view scene. Let me hit activate. That'll drag you all over.
Oh. I don't have any tokens here, so I don't see anything.
Let me see if I do. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
No, don't.
Do you guys have access to be able to draw? You should have permission to use the drawing tools, I believe.
I don't know what those tools are.
I can find them.
It'd be on the left.
No,
Like a
there's
little
token
pencil.
controls and templates.
I don't see a pencil on the left.
I do not seem to have a pencil.
Let me check permissions. I might have been like, I don't want them to draw. They can't be trusted. Oh, yep.
What makes you say that?
He is a privilege, not a right.
I gave a bunch of permissions to you guys already, but I wasn't sure if I gave that draw permission. Oh, there's a
There
show
it is.
spell effect thing. Now you guys should have permission to draw.
Let's
Anyway.
see.
I do not. I have the. Oh wait, maybe it's. Oh, I'm just not clicking.
So, this green area is the. I now don't have a pen selected. I don't have a pen selected. I do have a pen selected. Draw freehand. Why are you not drawing?
Yeah, I'm having that same problem.
I wonder if it's just the foreground image. Let me change something with the scene. Scene.
Oh, it's doing it behind.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's probably where the image is. Let's do.
I love you.
Ah.
I love them too.
Katrina says she loves you too. He walked away. I'll tell him.
If I just delete that, can I hit save
That's okay,
changes?
he knows it.
How do I undo?
Ah.
Oh, now it's tiny.
Is that what happened?
Erase.
Is it tinier? I think it's just gone.
It's
Yeah, it looks
super
gone to
tiny.
me.
Upper left
Oh
hand.
no,
Oh,
it's
it's
in the
super
corner.
tiny.
Oh, then I accidentally scrolled and now I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, I
though.
don't know how to get over there.
How do I move my? How do I like
point.
drag the map around?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this.
I've been struggling with that the whole time.
Da-da-da.
I also wasn't able to do it, but it didn't matter until now.
Trying to figure out
I should've
the best way to
gone.
have an image where you guys can actually draw on it. Let's just move you back there
Okay.
while I configure this. It's not a battle map, so I can't just
I just realized that Charity has a big scar on her face.
Cove select.
Mine won't draw.
Behind
Uh,
the picture. Maybe not. Wait.
Mine isn't.
It won't
I
draw
did
anywhere. It
here.
won't draw over on the gray. It won't.
You can't see me drawing white everywhere?
No.
I can draw on the.
Now
Ah!
I
Ah.
can.
Oh, now I do.
He hadn't let go yet.
How do I get
I
rid
don't
of
know how
you?
to
This is
erase
why
it,
we
by the
can't
way,
have
so we're
nice
set
things.
like that.
Hit Control Z.
Oh, now I
or
can draw.
targeting
Okay.
Stuff.
Okay, cool.
I don't know why this isn't working. I just want my friends and players to be able to draw on the stupid map.
For some reason, we can draw tavern.
Let me
So if you remember what you did to the
let
tavern.
me check the It is the background image. Does it just not like the size of the image or something?
Maybe it's too small, because we had a background or whatever. There was like a gray spot we could draw on.
let me re-export it. I mean, I probably should have saved that as Cove too, but configure, choose file, Cove, open, select, save. You're changing the underlying dimensions of the scene if you've already placed objects in the scene. Why am I changing the dimensions?
Hey, do we have any viewers? This is a really entertaining episode.
Okay, there we go. Let's try it now. There we go.
I do not own any token of vision in this scene.
That's one thing I can change quickly. That's something that's easy to change. Token vision unrequired. Save changes.
Ah!
There we go. Anyway,
New text.
this is why we can't have
Yes,
these things.
now I can draw anywhere.
Anyway, so the green part over
Oh.
there.
Yeah.
That's the forest. Look. This is why you can't. This is why none of you can be trusted. This is why none of you can be trusted.
I didn't do it. I made my color orange, so that way you know when I'm being.
That's why I know. So
Well,
I know
never
when
be.
you're being bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm the teal one.
I'm just having fun, bro, okay?
Anyway, that's the area you guys had decided you wanted to land before. This is a more zoomed-in
one?
view, if you guys want to pick the
Yeah.
exact spot where you're trying to land.
Okay, so each of the hexes is
dimensions of the hexes?
like one. Is how long? How
There's a scale at the top here.
Okay,
Oh,
well, last
sorry.
time you said don't listen to that, so...
Yeah, well, I configured
Oh.
it properly this time. I went through
Okay.
and actually
Okay.
scaled everything properly.
So each of them is roughly
About
12
12
miles in all
Okay.
directions. Or no, 6 miles in all directions.
No, 12 is correct.
Oh no,
They're 12
I was
across.
thinking if you start from the middle.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess
Yes,
if you
yes.
start...
I guess if you
12
start in
across
the middle.
all
Oh, I see
directions.
what you're saying.
I think
Well,
probably right here. Hold on, I gotta actually activate
Yeah,
the
we want to be decently
right
close
here.
to the
Nope,
forest,
it's
right?
it's not working. Oh, right there.
Yeah, I think that was the goal, was to sort of be. Yeah, I mean, I think right there. Yeah, where the.
Like, I was thinking a little farther away from the forest, but like within, like not quite as far as I put,
Like
because I guess that's like a mile.
No, that's the forest. We'd be going the other way.
Oh, that's the forest? Okay.
No,
we wanna be the
this,
left,
this is the
right?
forest.
Yeah.
Not in the forest. There.
You beat me to it. I was right up forest.
Let me force you guys to see this is proper scaling.
There we go. I was trying to figure out how to get back to it.
You just click on the little text on the other side.
Well, I didn't have those.
I will say,
At that time.
this is the map I am giving you guys to map out where stuff is relative for yourselves. So, that's on you. To keep track of where
To actually maintain the map.
to actually maintain where you guys believe things of points of interest are. I have a true map on
okay.
my end where things
Cool.
actually are.
Wait, can we draw on this map then in order to
I'm
mark
s-
things?
Yes, the map that you're currently on, the scene you're currently in.
Oh, okay. In this one. Okay, I thought you meant partially like the giant map.
No,
that you
not the
opened
giant
up for
map.
us all.
No, the individual area map. Anyway, I will show this in navigation to all of you, and then I'm going to make sure to see if you guys can navigate back there on your own.
I'm looking.
I've pulled you all away.
I hit map and it brought me there. Neat.
But I don't know how to make it open the little sidebar with the other maps.
On the right side, Madison, there should be a thing that has a little book symbol that says journal. If you click that, there'll be an entry that says map, and if you open up that, it shows
Okay.
you.
Okay.
That
Now we're talking. Now we're in business.
so did you navigate to it through the journal then, Trevor, as opposed to through a scene?
That's how I got to the big map.
Oh, okay, to the big one.
To the scene where I can draw stuff, that is the upper left-hand corner, where it says
Okay.
com.
Okay,
And
so
then
that's where it shows up there for you. Okay, I wasn't sure where it showed on your guys' end because I had navigate to it through a different way. So you guys can bounce to map, and you can bounce back to com presumably because it's active.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
What
Really
does
easy.
COM stand for in this case?
It was just the common room,
Okay.
just
common.
a
That makes
landing
sense.
page.
It's the loading zone when you first log in.
Yep.
Anyway, someone should change their color off of white.
Oh, do you want to be white? Okay.
No,
I don't know how
it
to
just
do
doesn't
that.
show up well on the ocean.
Mine is teal.
Oh, that's fair.
It's over on the left under configure drawing. You can set your color. I will be edgy and configure mine to be black because I feel like that should just be my default.
I'm gonna be green because I'm an orc.
And who is pink? Is that Trina?
There we go.
Yeah, it's my color on the player icon thing.
It's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
It's not erasing. It's there forever now.
You have to select
My
it
drawing color is not that.
with the select thing, and then you can just hit delete.
Oh, I see. Oh, that is not the right thing. It won't like actually. There we go. It keeps not actually switching for me. So here, what we'll do is.
Should probably pull up the true map for myself while I think about it.
Question.
Alright.
Somebody might have answered this and I wasn't paying attention. How do I erase what I've drawn?
You have to use the select tool and then hit delete.
Oh, I have caps lock.
Ah. Thank you. I was busy trying to map out distance.
I don't know why that's still white.
I don't think it changes your color when you.
Do the words.
Maybe it's a separate thing. Separate settings or something.
Did you make sure to hit configure default after you change the color?
Yeah, see, it's drawing green lines. It's just for the words.
That's a text color is a separate option.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you can also change your font, and the fill color is also a different option.
Oh, I see.
Can I make a
Oh, wait,
private journal entry for myself? Configure ownership. I'm just going to do it this way. If you guys go into the journal and to map, do you see the test page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Says nothing but test.
Yep.
Yes, that's all that is in there. So, if I just do this
Okay, yeah.
and hit save changes, can you see it now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Fine.
Then I'm going to have to configure that for myself and just make it so you guys can't see it so I can keep my maps here without having to have my map software open at the same time as the image, so I can add the actual detailed map that I have, but you guys can't see it. Cool. Close, close, close. So you guys are deciding to land on the orange X. Is that the consensus?
I think
yeah.
I think so.
I was trying to get it so that we'd be like about an hour walk from the forest. Like, there's scary stuff in there. We're far enough away, but it's also close enough that we can do logging.
Let me pull up travel speed.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I couldn't remember where that was in here.
It's in a weird place. I always just check online. So,
Well, we
1
probably have
hour
horses and
overland
stuff.
travel is about 1.5 miles. Actually, it's because it's not any sort of pathing or anything. It's new, undiscovered, undisturbed land. It's about 3/4 mile. So take that into account.
I think I got us pretty close to that. I think it's gonna be like a little over 1.5 miles.
Ray template. Man, this measurement tool's not great, is it?
Yeah, I'm literally holding a ruler to the screen.
Yeah, well, we can just say you're trying to get about 1 mile. Let me see if there's a... There's probably a module for a better ruler now that I think about it.
There must be, right?
Almost certainly.
Yeah, I don't imagine that they expected you to try and measure distances in between, like within a square.
Yeah, I might be able to turn off the grid. Hold up. Let me see if I can. Grid.
Yeah, the grid behind the hex is also a little confusing visually. That's better.
So now what happens when we try to measure?
Well, it still says 1 foot.
That's interesting. That is not helpful.
So it's only gonna take us like a minute to get there because it's only 1 foot away, guys.
let's try changing the grid type. Those do not line.
Now you have to stretch those hexagonals up to the size of the hexagonals on the map, and we'll be there.
I can tell you based off of
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you're about a mile away.
Yeah, sure, you're there.
You're there.
full.
Well, I'll figure
trying
that.
very
I'll
hard.
figure that out later.
Based off of my rule of math, I think my X was 1.875 miles away. But that's not what I wanted.
I'll mark it out. Use map skill, please. I'll mark it out
Instead
in
of
the
marking
actual.
it exactly, why don't we just say we're a mile away?
I mean, that's what
Well,
we're
the
doing.
mapping's going to be important in this.
And I'm
Cam was saying that we have to map things.
for yourselves.
I see.
Let me.
I mean, we could just do vague area. We don't gotta have like specific distances. Like we can remember those in like notes and stuff, but like we don't gotta like.
I marked it on my map for us, and then I'll just update that in my journal.
Okay.
Like if there was a wizard's tower like 17 miles away or whatever, I don't know where the fuck that is on this thing, so I would just say, oh, it's like over here, vaguely. And we would know that it's 17 miles.
Image,
We traveled
source.
that. Does everybody know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't even been attempting to understand any of this, really.
Oh, okay. But that's not a me issue. That's a you the whole time issue.
Yep. I wouldn't even define it as an issue. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, I got you.
I'm confident you guys will figure out how to do the measuring.
Thanks for your confidence.
I feel like it's often misplaced, but you know.
Well,
I
you have a better
appreciate
chance than me is basically my thinking. This is not my strong suit, not my... the spatial reasoning, it's just not.
There we go, save. Export, normal. I want it exported as that file. Close. Open. Source. Cove. Select. Insert. Why are you not actually doing the right file? I know it's the right file.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Maybe I
It'd
have
be
to
cool if
reselect
we could have it, because I figured out how to do the ruler for real, but it only says feet, so I don't know.
That's an issue for the future. Anyway, you guys are landing
In the spot we discussed.
in the spot we discussed.
Hour away from the fort.
Approximately there.
That's great.
Somewhere in this circle.
Somewhere in this vicinity. Anyway. So, you guys sail, paddle boat your way significantly into the cove, where it takes the better part of half a day or so, a day, for you to get everything unpacked, rowed to shore, come back, unpacked, rowed to shore, and everything unloaded. The animals are a bit of a nuisance to get shipped over in a series of rowboats.
Especially
But
since the
Yeah,
wolf
we play that the Go Wolf game.
Chicken,
yeah, it's a
the
whole
bag of grain.
yeah, exactly the seed bags. It's a whole thing. Luckily, like Terrico and crew have a great time with brain puzzles, and they've heard this one before.
Rico's really confused about why we have a wolf on board, but you know.
A bunch of dogs, you know, it's basically wolves.
Okay.
Anyway, so you guys make it to shore. I'd like someone to roll me a percentile die, please. Okay. Um, Uneventful. You all make it to shore. Sun begins to set.
I think that's remarkably close to what I rolled before.
Uh, and you all pitch up your 20-person tent, lay out your bedrolls, enjoy a nice warm meal of gruel that you've been eating for the past 6 weeks, but this time on dry land.
This time the bed's not moving.
As you see the goldenrod sail away, paddle its way into the distance out of the cove, and your last contact with anything in the wider world disappears on the horizon. What are you all doing on this first night in this new strange land?
Having an existential crisis. No, I don't know. I assume that the human brother is probably helping construct new shit or something. I don't know. We kind of
I
have.
mean, we've already been working most of the day.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long day. You guys are a little tuckered out, as you've been taking shifts, having to row the boats with storage and all this several tons of material to and from shore. It's been pretty hard.
Maybe just making camp and general stuff like that.
Making dinner.
I think Melody at least trying to some degree to get a little bit of like not a party, but a celebration going around, like a central campfire. Like, hey guys, we got here.
We did it. Woo. Okay.
Trying to bolster spirits a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll bust out a bottle of mead that I had brought. I'll make a note to remember to deduct gold for that later.
Fair.
Terrica, Lathril, and Danitha are trying to like double check that they have all their potential plans and make sure that nobody starts building stuff before they have the area mapped out for where they think it'd be best for everything to be. But after that, like, they're not working too hard, and then they go to party with Melody.
Yeah, okay. It's spirits are pretty high. People are a little bit tuckered, so it's not the most active party.
Yeah, it's low key, but you know the vibes are good.
Spirits are up. People are happy to be on dry land. Nerves are still kind of there.
The dwarves are so glad to be on solid ground.
Yeah, the spirits are still kind of high. Nerves are still kind of running a little rapid. The reality of the situation is finally hitting a lot of people. There's some different kind of groups and couples and pairs of people who are kind of off on their own, kind of trying to take it all in and calm down, sobbing a little bit, realizing that they've made potentially an awful decision. Little bits of regret, but for the most part, spirits are kind of high and people settle down after a while.
I just realized this is probably the first time Terrico has had a rapier or like any sort of sword on his side for an extended duration, and it keeps bumping into things constant.
It's kind of poking into stuff, digging up different like wooden structures and stuff.
Is it?
I mean, like, I
an
imagine it's in a
appropriately sized
scabbard,
rapier
but-
for him, or does he have a regular rapier?
I don't know, it is appropriately sized. He is only 3 feet tall. He's not using a human-sized rapier, which would be almost as tall.
Anyway, what are you guys doing for the night? What's the plan there? Like overnight.
Probably just sleep.
Terrico has complete faith that the other people who said that they were more fighty than him are doing watch, and he is just like, all right, time for bed.
Or
Somebody
was one of
stops
them
him to
doing
ask
watch.
for help, he can.
All right. So there was stuff for about 20 or so different people armed to be guards and things. So a guard is organized, watches decided and set up. Someone roll me a percentile.
Boy, I sure don't want to be responsible.
What did I do wrong this time?
You
God
did
damn
the
it,
same
Flash of
thing.
40R.
You're not on Reddit.
Although I am confused about why you play your 4 now instead of Yabo. Yobo?
Because I don't know.
Probably
Yeah,
because
when
the
it
roll
doesn't
didn't
work,
go
his player-
correctly.
Well, but before
Oh,
when
yeah,
he
he
did
was
it
right
before,
before-
that one
weird.
showed up as
See?
Yabo. Weird.
I blame JavaScript. No JS. Anyway, okay. The night passes quietly. Morning comes. The guards don't have anything to report. Just a still, beautiful, starry night without any sort of major complication. The tents are set up, and you guys are in charge of what you're having the 100 or so people do. What's your first priority?
Right.
Setting
this
up
is
a
where-
perimeter.
I will say you don't have a source of actual fresh water, so you're still just drinking gallons of mead,
Oh,
and still currently eating off of your rations. So that's two things to just kind of consider there. You do have a few weeks of this stuff left, so you could put it off for a while, but it is something that will have to be considered in addition to the security and stuff. Building houses.
I would like to.
Are
I
we just
would
on
like
the
to.
coast?
That's a great question. You guys probably just set up your tents on the coast for now. Do you want to move further inland? You don't have any sort of permanent shelter or
bit,
anything yet.
right?
Can I have Thukol start fishing? Take
Okay.
some people so that they can set that stuff up.
What kind of fishing does he do? Like nets and stuff?
Yeah, he grew up in an estuary, so familiar with river fishing and sea fishing. So nets, spears, things along that line he is familiar with.
Okay. So going out, setting up nets,
Yeah,
stuff
setting
like that
up
for now.
nets.
Passive fishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then making sure we have the livestock corralled well enough. And then my boy is gonna go out into the woods and like try to find see if there are any tracks nearby, see if there are any large game or any predatorial tracks, like things with claws. Tracks
Things
with claws.
Okay. And you're going off by yourself.
I will be taking the carpenter guy with me just to not be by myself 100%
Okay.
in the new world. Yeah.
So you're going off exploring by yourself.
Mhm.
Sounds good. You've sent your people out with some handymen, some general laborers to get lines set. How far off are you going?
Not too far.
Just kind of into the woods a little bit, staying kind of close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Within like 15-20 minutes.
Okay. So not even a mile out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think that I want our core team to maybe get together with who was it that was trying to figure out the places for things to go? Was that Terrico's team?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe get
One
together
there.
and start firming that up so that we can get our workers onto just like basic construction as soon as we can.
Okay.
Just like houses and the essentials.
You're sending people out to start lumbering and stuff. So it sounds like you're
Yeah.
trying to do mostly wooden buildings.
Probably for the moment.
And your
I
first.
mean, we just need to get stuff up quick right now.
Yeah. Okay. I will say you do have a bunch of barbed wire also. You have like 500 feet of barbed wire perimeter. As one of the things on the boat. Just a note. When thinking about security and stuff. Yabo. Terrico.
Uh,
Charity. Charity's
Uh,
muted, by the way.
I think that hold on. I have to close.
Cameron, can I utilize the barbed wire for the animals?
Yeah.
Or at least a portion of it?
Yeah, that's fine.
So the human brother is Garen, and the half-elf brother is Alwyn.
Let's say you use
I
like
think
50 feet of it or so. Or do you want to use a little bit more than that? How much space do you want to give these animals?
It's just gonna be temporary quarters, so not too much.
Okay, well, we'll just call that 50 feet or so. Kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Alwyn and Yabo are going to be helping to. Actually, probably all my boys will be helping to coordinate, just in general, not like where things are supposed to go, but like just making sure everybody knows where they're going for certain tasks and stuff like that. Garen will probably lead construction.
All right.
So just sort of doing general labor at the moment.
Yeah.
Being extra hands.
Yeah.
Charity?
Alwyn is probably not being extra hands. He's convincing other people to be extra.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Got it.
Sounds like a great plan.
Sounds like a great plan. Are you sure you want to do that though?
Why?
I'm making fun of lightning being
he's not
muted.
talking to you, he's talking to Charity.
I got you.
He's
For a
dead.
moment, I thought Discord just did the thing where I couldn't hear a person, so I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to restart my Discord."
No, we weren't gaslighting you. Lightning.
I thought he was talking shit about me. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, I thought it was a perfectly fine plan.
Not this time, but
There's just stuff to be done. We're doing it.
Okay.
Do,
So
do, 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 do.
for Terrico's engineering team, there is definitely planning Hector and them about where to build things, but also I was imagining that we would dig a well at some point, and I don't know. I have two people on my team who I have backgrounds in civil engineering. I feel like they would know how far from the ocean you would need to be to dig a well to make sure that the water wasn't brackish. I tried to Google it real quick, but wow, am I not getting answers?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's always the worst when you have like a really specific question about like something stupid like that, and Google doesn't give you the immediate answer.
What's really annoying is apparently there was a Quora question that has like the exact same question as me, and yet, as far as I can tell, no answers.
I had something like that earlier when I was looking something else up. I don't even remember what it was. About 15 feet above the high tide mark.
That give us not brackish water?
If freshwater is becoming, that's what the response I saw.
That's neat, but I do suggest that we probably build our city a little farther away from that. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have to be like miles away.
Oh, this makes sense because freshwater is less dense than saltwater. It floats on top of the seawater. Ah,
Interesting.
interesting.
You learn something new every day.
Thanks, Quora.
So if we dig the well too deep, will we eventually get back to seawater?
That's what it sounds like. From what it looked
Changing
like,
nitrogen layout here.
it has like the way if it does it is like it kind of domes the surface some with the way the water lays. Oh, he's away on Discord. What the hell? Is he just gone? Is Lightning just dead? And no
We
one
never heard from him again.
and we never heard from him again. I'll message him on Facebook and be like, "Hey yo, Did he say he was leaving at some point and he just hasn't come back yet? I feel like he said that a long time ago. But he had been back since then.
I also had to step away from it.
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
were talking about the well stuff, but I don't know what's going on with lightning.
Do 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 do.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom in the meantime.
Yeah, good time to do it.
Yep.
I guess, do the rest of us have an idea of like how far from the ocean we want to be? Like, do we want to be close in case if ships come back, or
I was
are we okay with
picturing
being a
it
little further?
relatively close. If we're going by like how long it takes to walk, I was picturing maybe like 45 minutes or something, you know.
Like a mile
I don't
away.
think we want to be right on the shore, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do think we want to be close, especially since it's a big food source right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure, like, 'cause I know you said that you don't have to, like, fresh water sits on top of the salt water, but I also was imagining that the bigger we could deal, the more water we can generate in general, which might be very important. Right? So, I feel like 45 minutes away is probably a good amount. That should probably get us far enough away, and I guess worst comes to worst, we can build another well even farther away to try and generate more water.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Maybe we should message Roven. Because he's been muted for a while. Like, long enough to go idle on Discord.
Do you want to message Rogan, or do you want me to?
It doesn't matter. This would be a hell of a way to go during a live stream.
Right?
So very ironic for the player of the healer-based character to go.
Yeah.
Bitch asleep.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Like, at the computer or what?
Yeah.
Motherfucker is on.
Yep, that
I
tracks.
feel like I just walked into
A parallel universe where it was,
The sleepy Jordans were switched.
yeah. That was my one guess, but I was really hoping we would make enough noise to wake you up. Welcome back, Lightning. Anyway, what are you doing on the first full day in this new land? People are dealing with food, people are dealing with water, people are dealing with getting, like, trees and stuff cut down.
Probably organization. That's probably what she's working on. She's probably trying to get it into a more
Taking inventory and stuff. Kind of thing. Making sure everything's where it needs to be. Okay, yeah, that's
Exactly.
fair. Someone roll me weather for this week. Someone roll me a percentile.
I'm afraid to now. Like, if I roll poorly and we all die because that's my fault.
This whole ass hurricane hits you guys like in the first week. It'd be a hell of a way to go. Anyway,
That happens, my man.
it's temperate weather, kind of nice, early clear spring days. The first kind of week of travel and stuff goes about. Trina, roll me a survival check to see if you find any tracks or anything. Okay, let me pull up a thing.
Hey.
Boop, boop.
Trina, roll me a D17. Okay. Let me.
You get attacked by a troll.
You, as you're kind of looking through the woods, exploring, looking for any sorts of tracks or things, you find a series of strange indents in the ground. Not necessarily like footprints or anything, but it's almost as if someone took like a spiked club and had pounded it into the ground in a few places, leaving kind of a rounded indent with some kind of protruding spikes sticking out.
That's
Yeah,
good.
there's a giant centipede.
You can see.
I have a question. What kind of animals do we already know about? Like what's normal animals?
Animals you're thinking of, like normal animals. Most
Okay.
most magical beasts and things are most things of like myth and legend, things that have been eradicated as threats to like the greater humanoid society over time. So like dragons, stuff like that, giant insects, giant animals are kind of out of reality, things that you don't hear of anymore. Maybe like a random sighting here or there, but
Like Bigfoot.
mostly like historical things, like when people think of dinosaurs or stuff, kind of thing. But obviously, dinosaurs aren't really here anymore. But most things are kind of myth and legend at this point, but still kind of recorded in the history books.
Okay. What about like zoo animals? Like, are we familiar with giraffes and this sort of thing?
Yeah, well, I'll say probably to some extent.
Or at least we know
Like
of them.
I will say that like the more
books or something.
educated ones of you would probably be more familiar with them than like Hector would, or the common person, just because they have like the education, like things that are written about in like zoology textbooks, but you've never really seen one like in reality. As
I was just trying to establish a baseline for animals.
Yeah, domesticated like European animals, bears, wolves, stuff like that. Not really like
You have like heard of a
exotic
giraffe
things.
and you know that it's not the questing beast of like Arthurian legend, but you've never seen one face to face.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you see this, but you also notice a large number of trees that have had kind of large chunks of them kind of splintered out from presumably whatever thing that had been pounding into the ground. Sprayed out chips of wood in different directions and things. So,
Oh dear.
that's what you kind of find in your hunting expedition, Trina. I'm assuming like the rest of this week is kind of similar stuff. You're kind of setting up those baselines of things. That's how the rest of the week's going.
Yeah, a
I
lot
do
of
alert the guard about this shit.
Okay. You let them know. You let the excuse me. You let the group at high know to be careful, that there's something out there and you don't quite know what it is. But that's how that goes. Beyond that, the next week is pretty easy. Beyond all the hard manual labor, it's pretty calm, smooth sailing. Trina, roll me just a survival check just to see if you get a decent amount of food from your fishing nets and things.
Oh, I make sure that at some point in the day that everybody's doing some sort of exercise.
I mean,
I think
everyone's
most of us
kind
are,
of
like
being
doing
houses.
manual labor.
yeah.
I meant like stretching exercises.
Okay.
Every
Yeah,
couple
divine
hours,
force
you're like, okay, guy, time for our radio calisthenics, and stretch, and stretch, and
Yeah,
stretch,
basically.
and touch your toes, and touch your toes, and touch your toes.
I'm
Everyone
trying to make
apart
sure
from me
everybody
on my
stays.
team is ready for it.
I'm just trying to make sure everybody stays
Limber.
Limber?
healthy and not damaged. Nobody needs to
Okay.
break a back or pull a muscle.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Also, anybody who receives some sort of injury, I can help with that. I can take a look at it and stuff. And if it's
You know
like,
how to wrap an ankle.
yeah,
Light
I
phys-
probably
you
can't
you've been in
reattach.
physical therapy before.
I probably cannot fix somebody losing their arm, but most things I can deal with.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So
fair.
if somebody like
You got a
cut themselves or
splinter, bring it
something
here.
while they were building, I got you.
Okay.
All right, that's it. Sorry.
Just update my map a little bit. All right. Someone roll me a weather. So unfortunately, your nets don't give you any sort of reasonable, consistent supply of food. You get a few random fish here or there, but not a whole lot of fresh stuff. So you're still mostly supplying off your current rations. Let me go and mark down.
Damn, I hope we find an old god to pray to then.
Let me.
Is it like early spring, midsummer?
You left pretty early spring, so it's probably the middle. It's probably mid-spring, getting to early summer.
Okay.
Like end of April, somewhere in there.
End of April, early May, yeah, thereabouts. But anyway, you get some inclement weather the next week. Someone roll me another percentile.
This is the one that I'm scared of.
I already brought the inclement weather upon us in the first place.
I don't want to hold the. Oh no.
So the next week is met by high winds coming off of the oceans. It makes it very difficult to get out and check the nets and things. Some of your early structures are kind of difficult to get assembled and put together because of the high winds knocking things over. But beyond that, the week goes by. I would like just another actually, yeah, it's the next week's. What's everyone doing now? You've kind of got a few little small shelters and things beginning to get set up. Some of the wells are dug.
I think we're going to start scouting out locations for the smithy and start getting materials on site and everything like that.
Okay, so you don't really have any good source of stone.
Or sort of generally the crafting center.
Okay.
Like where it's going to go, at least.
Yeah, you don't really have a good source of stone or clay or anything at the moment. The soil here is kind of, and the plains part
yeah,
of
it's
stuff,
sandy, isn't it?
it's kind of sandy, kind of loose. It's held together by kind of the long, tall grass and stuff. So it's not like you're sinking into it as you're walking, but you don't have a ton of stone or anything to actually be able to do that. You'd have to go out exploring and hunting to try to locate.
Yeah, and I guess we
source
don't want
that
to be out of wood, huh?
Yeah, probably not good to make a smithy out of wood.
We can have the beginnings
not
of an
ideal.
outdoor forge area built for you if you want, but I mean, won't be as robust or comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, do we have enough stone? Did we bring stone with us as one of our raw materials or no?
Probably not. Stone's really not something that
It's heavy.
it's heavy and it's not a rare material. Like you didn't bring wood with you, because it's a pretty common material.
So really don't even have enough to build
Guess we're
even
gonna
just
have
the forge
get some
itself.
miners.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I guess we'll probably have to get with Corum and their team to maybe scout out somewhere to mine or something.
Good quarry locations.
Terraco, are you just doing more civil planning kind of stuff?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think my team also would have been trying to find a good spot for smithy and frustrated for lack of materials. Jericho is trying to do like a general like find out which buildings are most important to build first. Like we have to like get some sort of like basic like bunkhouses for us. We have to get some sort of like pens for the animals and like figure out the order in which that is while
Okay.
on each job site organizing people.
All right. You're just more hired hands, Yabo.
Yeah.
We're doing mostly stuff. Charity, everything's kind of organized at this point for the most part. Things have been kind of settled where they need to be for the peak teams that need them. So what are you looking to do? Fucker's asleep again.
It's asleep.
Hey!
Hey, it was not me this time.
And he's a third shifter. Wonder if
Yeah, I was like, I know he said that he was looking at a non-third shift job, but I wasn't sure.
gotta have to yell at Rovan again. Go wake his ass up! In the meantime, I guess, Corum, what are you doing?
Yeah, so we're going to expand the area that we're searching and tracking in. First of all, to help out with the dwarfs, and then also to make sure that we can, like, see if there's any smallfoot game around, take notice of any large game, and then also see if we have any indication of if the spiked track marks were weaponry by a native people, or if it is some fucking weird creature.
Okay. Roll me a survival check.
One moment.
Okay. So as you're checking and looking into these strange spike holes in the ground, you come across one of these smashed trees, and you find what looks like a large bone tooth or spike. It's about 6 to 8 inches long, sharp, pointy. You can see that it's kind
I
of
bet we can make some nice tools
chipped a
out of
bit.
that.
But you also notice a little bit of small game trails, but they're few and far between. You notice a fair few birds, but nothing really terrestrial in nature in your hunting and exploring. And roll me a percentile, please. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Does you said it's like a pointy tooth spike?
Well, yes, like a big bone spike.
Bone spike. Does it look like it's been sharpened with
Nope.
All right.
It looks like some sort of tooth, something natural.
Oh, so my question was if it was like you know how
It's not like it's naturally sharp. It's not like it had been rubbed up against something and sharpened
no.
like intentionally.
I'm meaning like how rats
No.
sharpen their teeth on.
No.
Okay, not sharpen. Gotcha. Understood. Thank you.
It's kind
And
of
then also-
pointy, destructive.
The fisherman fishes.
It's high wind. It's
He
hard.
tries to do his thing.
Yeah.
He'll go out there with a stick if he has to try. It's okay if nothing works.
Go out in a boat. Yeah. Roll me another survival check, but you'll probably take like a -5 to it. Minus just for the bad weather.
Yeah.
Okay. Despite the inclement weather, they do manage to actually get a few fish kind of blown into the nets. The currents have shifted So some of the fish that were out deeper on the other side of the cove seem to have made their way in. Roll me a percentile check. Okay.
That
I think that was specifically for Trina anyway.
Yeah.
Why did that one not work?
Because you did R slash.
Flash R.
Flash is first.
Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know, man.
Listen to Madison, you're not on Reddit.
For real. I saw lightning make a noise. Is he awake again? Oh, maybe not. He made another noise.
Hello.
Hello. Are you organization's done? What are you working on?
There's wind this week.
High winds.
High winds.
No blanket fort for you, unfortunately.
Oh no. I'm not sure. I think she's still getting adjusted towards it. She's probably taking like extra care and like the medical work in this like first few, so she's like on top of like getting small bandages to people when they get small cuts and shit like that.
Making sure people don't get infected. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you and me are probably crossing paths a little bit because I was up and around with that kind of stuff too.
You were more preventative care.
That's
Like
true.
you were like stretching and like, okay, yeah, you feel like you pulled something, stretch it out. Like, oh, you're overexerting, kind of things. Terrico or Charity, roll me a percentile. Sorry, not Terrico. Yabo or Charity.
Percentile?
Yes.
You did it.
You did it.
Yay!
Luckily, no major injuries or anything happen at this point. People are still being kind of cautious, knowing that there's only a small team of medical personnel around to take care of if anything happens.
That's good.
But the week passes without any sort of major hiccups or hindrances.
Maybe we should do a class to some people
Yeah, that's
on how to do
First
medical
aid
aid.
class.
someone make a weather roll for me. A nice peaceful week. You actually managed to get a fair few cabins and things set up, smaller structures made of wood. The tents are beginning to come down as people are starting to move into their small, kind of rough wooden cottages. It's been a lot of hard work the past few weeks, but things are starting to kind of settle down and getting used to things. Some of the hired hands are more able to help with animal tending and small crafts and things when they're not needed. People are getting more settled. Still no sighting of the strange spiked creature or creatures or tribe or whatever that Quorum was reporting. But things are proceeding smoothly. I'd like a percentile roll. Doesn't really matter from whom. Man, you guys are actually rolling well on percentiles, and it's disappointing. But I assume you guys are kind of doing more of the same stuff, still getting things kind of settled in, nothing too out of the way.
I was actually gonna say, I think after like 3 weeks of planning, I think Terrico probably doesn't need to be micromanaging things anymore at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you guys really can be more hands off, because as part of your general purpose, you guys were to be the ones to explore and consult with each other's.
So Terrico and Melody, because she's also bored, are gonna leave the other three to manage the building while they go out looking for materials like stone that they desperately need. They'll probably snag a couple guards or hang out with Quorum's crew if they have extras or are willing to take us. But we're trying to expand the search area to find the materials we need.
Okay. So you're tagging along, looking to see if you can notice anything
It's hard
useful.
to do much else before we get stone and stuff. Is the thing.
It's simple. You punch trees, Then you mine cobblestone. You get cobblestone tools and you make iron, and then eventually you strip mine for diamonds.
Yeah, and since we've been working so much with Hector and them recently, we probably even were like, "Hey, Hector, do you or anyone else want to go out with us looking for new areas? Like, we really just need more manpower searching for stuff."
Yeah, I think that most of our like just workers are probably still harvesting lumber and stuff, but I was thinking that maybe a couple of the core team were on the exploring party.
Okay, you kind of split off your main group, the leaders with the leaders, and the sub people with the sub people. Because your vice presidents being vice presidents with each other,
Sure.
leading off, doing things, becoming more familiar with each other. Now that things are
Yeah.
a little more settled.
The Garen is probably helping more coordinate construction and do construction, and the other guys possibly trying to insert capitalism into this new society. But
He's trying to get some kind of side hustle going.
maybe possibly trying to organize the government. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't really have much of a structure right now, other than you five are kind of an oligarchy in charge of everyone else, being looked
Hey, if
to
it ain't
as
broke.
the trusted leaders and things.
We'll deal with that once we have a town hall.
Is the town hall
yeah,
made
they're
of wood or
both making
stone?
a town. Well, it'd have to be wood for now because we don't have a mine yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you can wait. You don't need a town hall yet. Put it off for as long as
That's
possible
true.
so you can maintain the
Yeah,
oligarchy.
yeah.
The town tent.
The town tent. It just doesn't have
Well,
as
I mean,
good a
like
ring
an
to
Animal
it.
Crossing.
Exactly. There you go.
We don't.
Exactly.
It doesn't ha- this doesn't have
Eventually,
to be
you'll get random
communism.
people just popping up on your island, like, "Oh, I washed ashore, but it's nice here. You mind if I stay?" And then you say, "Fuck off," and they're like, "Okay, I'll leave in a couple days. But if you want me to
That's-
stay,"
That's when we judge them based on their appearance.
exactly.
You know, real hard.
Like, "Oh,
You're not pretty enough.
You're
Get out of here.
You're like an ugly hippo. I don't want you. Get out." But then everyone wants the cat guy that'll wear a maid outfit. And
We run around
I
hitting
think
them with
that we
butterfly
can still
nets.
maintain our power. We are the elected officials. We don't have to.
Well, we're definitively
Oh, we're
not
not
elected.
You're the paid-for officials.
I mean, within your group of 5, you're presumably the elected official, or like the quietly, solemnly accepted leader. Anyway, so how far is your search radius going now, Trina? Are you still hunting into the forest, or are you looking more into the plains? As you're still looking in the search for stone and clay and stuff now.
Would clay be more likely to be in the... I mean, Corum would rather be in the forest, but if we're needing to find clay, I don't know if that would rather be more
Erica and
in...
his search group probably prioritize the plain. If you want to stay in
Okay.
the forest, you can
Well, I mean, you can.
look in the plain.
So yeah, you can
and
split it up.
I'll be in the plains.
But you guys are supposed to be like the leaders exploring together. It's just
Yeah.
just a point there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess split the party.
There's a reason you guys have 5 underlings to go in the other direction, and then 100 underlings to be like, go be cannon fodder.
This
Okay,
is just
fair.
Katrina not knowing where clay would be found. So if
Probably
If,
near a source of fresh water would be
Jericho-
the.
Corum would probably know, right?
Corum would know where clay is,
Probably near
Uh,
a source of fresh water would be your biggest bet, your biggest guess. But you really haven't come across anything like that into your expedition out into the forest yet. Maybe a few small streams and things, but no major bodies.
If Jericho wants to go further into the plains, Corum will lead them further into the plains.
Okay. I mean, how about this? Erica will go with Corum because he's interested in learning what exactly a survivalist does, while he'll send Melody at the head of the other team.
Into the little
That
more
way-
explored area.
That way, player characters can actually be together.
Yes.
And,
Yes. Appreciated. Keep
I was
keep
just
the
so
underlings with
focusing on
underlings.
resources that I tried to split us up and forgot that you actually want us together to have encounters.
Yes, to play the game, and not just be like, okay, you guys, Trina finds strange
This is the
bones in the
Colony
woods,
sim now.
and everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing is we all slip so naturally into the civilization building game. It's the problem.
It really is the problem. When we first started playing 3.5, remember, everyone just did their profession for weeks on end. They're like, I'm gonna roll my profession because I get paid 5 silver pieces a week.
Like I got
I
into
was
the
thinking big.
Civ builder loop so quickly, or just survival in general. Like, yeah, okay, we got wood. Yeah, we gotta get stone next. Like, it's the next step.
It's
And
the
then
next
we make
step.
tool.
We gotta find it. Exactly. Anyway,
That's how you do it.
so
Minecraft now.
the medic, the doctor, going with the leaders to make sure nothing bad happens to them. And Yabo being the hired muscle in case something bad happens and they need security. You guys.
I mean, I also have the ability to use heal. Mine's not like super good, but
How do you have the ability to use heal?
because I'm a
What's
fitness
the-
guru, I know things about the body, bro.
Well, I was thinking more. What's your mechanic that lets you do that?
The heal skill.
Oh, okay, just the heal skill, the medicine skill,
Yeah.
not like doctoral skill necessarily. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm like, how
First aid.
first aid,
Like
first aid, not
yeah.
trauma medicine.
Correct.
That's what the doctor is there for. Is the trauma medicine, the one with the lab coat. Anyway, now that the party's together and we've broken that fourth wall immersion of okay, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Someone roll me.
We're just role playing real hard,
Hey,
so hard that we try to play a different genre of game.
Maybe you gotta keep the volume down. They're
Can I
sleeping.
have bought a crossbow? That is one of the things monks are allowed to use.
Yes, you could have bought a
And I
crossbow.
don't want to be
Babe.
slinging it like random fucking monsters
Babe,
on this
you
new
need to
island.
be quieter.
Yes, you can have bought a crossbow. Anyway,
Cool.
what was happening? Charity rolled that for before. Okay. Trina,
Yeah.
How are you guys going on a much wider berth, or are you just starting out like a mile away, like an hour or so? Like how far are you guys willing to go on this journey?
I'll go an hour.
Okay, you're gonna start with an hour away. Roll me a survival check, to, because you're the one presumably leading the party. And which direction are you going? This is the next important thing. Are you going north, south, east, or west?
On the map that we currently have up is south down,
Yes.
then south.
Okay. You are heading south about an hour, so like a mile. Beautiful. Okay. You do not get lost, which is good. Let me pull out my compass. Or my compass, my measurement tool in the actual map thing. Okay. So after about an hour of travel, about a mile, you start to see the kind of dry, rolling hills of long grass start to become a little more lusher. You see a few more trees begin to pop up. You see a few trickling streams kind of roll down and begin to peter out as they kind of taper into almost like a marshland, but it's still pretty dry and sandy. So you have kind of an idea that there might be some sort of fresh water nearby. If you
Fresh
continue
water?
following the streams. Someone roll me a percentile.
Okay. Is there any way I could do some basic mapping?
Are you proficient with cartography tools or anything that would let you do mapping?
Nope.
Let me take a look at your sheet.
Yeah, guys, I have knowledge in geography. I definitely should know where clay is. Nature and geography. I really should know where clay is. It's fine.
what's your craft, Lightning?
I'm not sure.
It's probably not map making. It's probably not cartography.
Probably
Um,
not.
I'll say you can just make me just roll me an int check. To just try to mentally map the place out. Um, that seems to be the most reasonable use of your skill.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you're just not used to being like out in the field like this, trying to keep things in scale. You've got a kind of a crude like directionality of like, oh, here's this, and this is. It's a map as if like a middle schooler made it, but like a middle schooler who doesn't really know what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Like a map to a secret fort.
That was exactly what I was about to say. Was here's the weird tree, and
Exactly.
here's the fort.
Exactly.
They were like,
Anyway, okay, Hector rolled at that percentile. Cool. So are you continuing going south? Or following?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and roll me another survival check. Roll me a D8. Okay. So not too long. So about an hour later, you notice that the trees have gotten a lot more thicker, a lot more populated. That you've slowly kind of gotten out of the flat, kind of rolling plains, and you're starting to get a little more thick into forestry. At this point, it's probably about 8 or about 10 a.m. So, what do you want to do? You find yourself kind of at the edge of the forest and
What's the problem?
the plains from what you can gather. And someone roll me a percentile, please. Okay. So, let me minimize that window. As you are meandering, trying to get your bearings back again, let me click that button. And then I'm pretty sure I have that disabled.
I feel like I've done something bad. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it's good if we're gonna fight something and that's what Cameron wants, but also I'm sorry that I'm putting us in moral peril.
And moral peril.
okay,
That's
I'm
what's the
the one that
secondary.
I realized I said it wrong.
led us off the track.
Someone roll me a d4.
I'm afraid to now. I'm really hoping that's not number of enemies.
Alright, let me pull this
I mean, I guess
up.
3 isn't bad, but then I just am like, oh man, we could have had only 1.
Okay. Yeah, this will be fun. Someone roll me a d6. Oh, sorry, a d3. Let me roll me a d3. Okay. Let me see if there's a good token for this creature. Because this only has the SRD monsters and not all the fun other monsters from other books. So I'll be tracking HP and stuff manually. Bestiary. Let me go creature type. That. None of those really look like a plant. So let's just use a different random token. Oh, I should give you tokens. Where are you, actors? Let's just shove you over here. Shove you over here. Shove you over here. Shove you over here. Who am I missing? Who is that? Who did I not put a name on?
I don't
Hector.
have. Okay. Vision.
Also Terrico. Those are the two I need to do. Always for everyone. Update token. I apparently missed giving you guys nameplates when I. You're about to lose vision.
Did we figure out a way to move the map around on the screen?
Right click will move yourself around move the map where you're looking.
There we
Amazing.
go. That's what I needed to know.
Let me.
I'm just gonna focus on this nice bird right here instead of these scary-looking beasts.
I just learned something. If you just press C, it opens up your character.
Less.
Oh, handy.
I always exit out of my character 5 seconds before Cameron tells me to roll a survival check. That's why it's been taking so long.
You can put it in your hotbar. I'm pretty.
Also, if you
sure.
have the little bar with your name that says attack spells, that has all of your like basic saves and checks and stuff. That's how I do.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's what I've been doing.
Okay. Yeah, this will work.
Yeah, I wish you could minimize the character sheet is what it is.
And then that'll work for me. Okay. Let's just do. Can I just click that? Does that work? No. Sad. Right, is it? What's the button? What's the magic way to do this? If I do, huh? Nope. Okay. Right click on your character. And then there's the little shield with the swords crossing behind it. Click that. That'll add you to combat. Or to the encounter. Who are we?
An angry red bar at the bottom left.
Are you not on here, Terrico? Or no, I'm just selecting. I was looking at the token, so I didn't see your name there. Okay. Are you guys walking in single file line through while you were going exploring? And who has a light source equipped? You should probably unequip that.
Oh, it might be me based off of the fact that it is moving.
Mine is not equipped.
I'm not actually
Clarity, are you
gonna
in
attack,
French?
but I'm
Oh. No,
okay. That's
I
what
have my lantern, but I don't have it equipped.
There we
Might
go.
have been me. I think I had.
I think a couple of you had light on.
Apparently the system cannot identify a hand axe.
What do you mean it cannot identify a hand axe?
It says it's unidentified. It has no text.
It's because it's trying to identify it like a magic item.
Why?
Because it's...
No, I mean like if I go into my character to add the equipment, it's under my weapons as unidentified.
I don't see what
It
you're
has
talking about.
No details, no description.
I It says dwarves favors these axes as offhand weapons. When you click on the
Yeah,
on
but
hand axe.
look at the text thing. Look at the chat. I tried to attack and it said unidentified. I have it as a weapon attack.
You do not. There, I just created the attack for you. Item may not. Hold on. Let's just trash the axe. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that was fun.
Whoa. That's fucking cool, my dude.
Model validation may not be able. Item 3.5 detected once. I don't know why. Okay. You just might not be able to add the attack through the item. You might have to add it manually.
Okay.
Which I don't actually see. Description, details. Because I don't know why it's doing that, because it should just be considered a weapon.
Yeah, I know.
That's very strange.
That's what I was saying.
Well, do you plan on using a hand axe in combat?
I had planned on having it just available to me, but I guess not anymore.
I
So
mean,
I'll just use my fucking.
we can figure out it in the future if you need to actually use it. Otherwise, you can just roll a d20. It's a hand axe. It's a light weapon. It'll probably just use the same modifiers as your quarterstaff if you're proficient in it. It just might do slightly different damage. Anyway, into combat. If you click on the d20, also we're still missing two people in combat.
How does I click on the
I wanna
D20 where?
We have Charity, Hector, and Corum in the encounter. Click on your token.
How do I become?
Right click on your token, and then there's two swords with a shield in front of them. That'll be toggle combat state.
Am I in it now?
You are now in it. We have Charity, Hector, Terika, Corum, and Yabo. Cool. Now, if you click on the d20, that'll roll initiative for you.
The D20.
They have 0.95s.
I'm sorry. What D20?
The one in the encounter. Sorry. Do you see an encounter tab on your right hand
No.
side
Ah. See now.
next to
Oh,
chat?
combat
combat
encounters. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
That D20.
Wait.
What's up with these rolls?
Yeah, what's up with the
It's
0.02?
it's probably factoring in dexterity for ties. So what it's probably doing is either adding or subtracting. Also, I probably realize now that I shouldn't have used their initiative roll there for them, because these guys' initiative's probably different. Yeah, these guys' initiative's much higher, but that's fine. We'll just assume they rolled absolute poopy.
Most of them are sort of in the mid-top anyway.
Yeah.
We all rolled absolute shit.
Yeah, well, they should
Yeah.
have been beating basically everyone. But that's fine. Anyway, Yabo's at the top of initiative.
Your turn.
So, you really don't know what's going on right now. You're just kind of lost in the woods exploring.
So we don't know we're in combat yet.
No.
Well, I don't really wanna. Can we see them? No, they're behind shit, aren't they?
Also, everyone roll me just a spot check while you're at it. Just right now.
I'm real good at that.
Or we could assume you're taking 10 if you would prefer. But you're walking through the woods, so you're probably trying to pay attention to things.
22.
I'm supposed to be real good at that, so that means my numbers
I got
are
10
just
anyway.
garbage. Fun facts. There's like a little
Okay.
hot bar, or like a click bar up at the top that gives you all the character stuff, so you can
I've said that,
find
like,
your skills.
3 times.
Oh.
There's a lot of things on the screen.
Yeah.
That's fair. There's a lot of things on this screen.
in that little bar at the end, there's also you can also toggle initiative there too. If you go to utility, it'll have enter and
So there's a
remove from
rest
combat and a rest
remove
button.
from combat.
That's neat.
So you can click that enter into combat button there rather than right clicking on your token and all that fun jazz.
Swag. So
Swag.
can I not see them?
You do not notice anything now.
Okay.
Do I?
You also do not notice anything.
With a 22? Jesus.
Then I'll
Yup,
just
they have a
stand
plus
here, I guess.
17.
Okay, so
We
we're just
stop.
gonna get
17?
murdered.
It's
assume we
it's plus
just
17
keep
to
walking.
hide.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
we
It
So
makes
we're level 1.
have no reason
They're
to do
CR1
anything other than
creatures.
just continue walking, right?
We're
Are
level
we, like-
1 people.
You'll be fine.
Did we hear something?
This is a brand new continent. You guys expected danger. The first day or second day you guys were here, Corum found massive spike holes in the ground and things destroying chunks of trees.
Listen, I remember
Yeah, Gorm's
3.5.
been
I
ready.
tried to run a campaign in 3.5 in college. I almost killed a monk with like 3 badgers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That honestly sounds about right. But anyway,
Man, extra
Um,
economy.
Did we hear something, or are we still walking?
you're
We are
still just kind of
stupidly
walking.
ignorant.
Okay, then I'm just gonna continue walking until we get ambushed and die.
Boom, boom, boom. You ran out of time.
Oh, is that what the timer's for?
Yes, that's just her timer. Anyway, go ahead and move yourself where you want to move forward, Yabo.
Well, I would probably just be wherever I was in the turn order.
Just kind of following. You're just going to
or
be
in the line.
just
Yeah.
kind of following Corum. Is that
Yeah.
kind of the general concept of what's going on right now? You're still following him.
Okay.
So we'll just skip forward to Corum's turn, and then you guys can all just move after he goes.
Cameron, that was so cool.
These graphics are cool.
Okay.
I don't get to see the graphics.
Like, what happened besides just
Uh,
moving through the turn order?
You'll see.
Yeah, there's a bunch of you'll see and you'll be really excited like I was.
Okay.
Uh so I'm gonna take a couple steps down.
Yabo, Terrico, and Charity, go ahead and move yourselves afterwards, too. So.
I don't
Oh,
actually know
thing
how
to
do-
remember in 3.5: diagonals are different.
You gotta.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wait, Wasta,
5,
that's
10,
right.
then 5, then 10.
How are diagonals different again?
The first one is 5 feet. The next one is 10 feet, and then it goes 5 feet, 10 feet. They are mathematically accurate diagonals, is what they are.
Confusing to think about.
If you use the ruler, it'll do it for you. The token ruler, it'll. Oh, that's actually really cool. It'll map out most effective way to get to a space. I don't know if
that's neat.
if you guys can see that. My green one.
Can't really. Can you walk in diagonals? That's the thing I'm wondering. You can.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just have to hit both buttons at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go over that. Is
My land speed's 20. Oh, okay, it even shows me
Yep.
how many feet I have too. Cool.
That's pretty.
Can we just pretend I walk diagonal? I'm not really trying to figure out where these buttons are every single time.
I'm gonna go look at this tree.
You don't actually have to map it out. You just have to go and measure the distance. You're gonna look at the tree. Let's see here. Let me check my distances here.
And I'm gonna inspect the species of the tree and stuff like that. Try to determine what kind of foliage is.
I wish I knew how to use these distance measurements tools.
Yo, can I listen?
Same.
What are you trying to
I
do?
was
I'm trying to measure a circle.
Uh,
It just does the.
I I would suggest using the circle template, and then you can make a
Instead
circle with
of
that.
using the measurement controls circle template.
I don't know why it's
Hey,
not
it's the
letting you
circle
draw
template,
it
not the
out.
circle template.
Yeah, it's just doing 1 foot.
Yeah, that happens.
Is it just? It's just right click?
Let's still move the screen.
Or sorry, it's just,
So I
maybe
That's weird.
maybe it's a scene setting thing. Let me check that configuration.
when I
Okay, so I can tell you that I was not able to draw a circle, but if you place the effect and then left click, click on it, I clicked on it somehow. Yeah, double click on it.
Ah,
It opens up
that's
a
annoying.
menu, and then you can set the distance. There
That's
might be a better way, but that's a workable way.
that is a workable way. Except I have to move the token to be able to do it. It's not letting me put it on the space. Now it's just not letting me place them at all. Oh, okay. I have to click and drag to place it. That's okay. Well,
My new problem is I don't know how to delete it.
just
Really?
just select
Click
delete.
it once and then delete. There we go.
I need to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Sorry.
so I was gonna get to here, but when I got to here, I would have been able to possibly see.
No,
Or-
you did not. You did not pass the spot check.
They're still hiding.
Okay,
We
cool.
still suck.
Cool, that's fine.
What about a listen check? Can I be trying to
that's good.
listen around me?
I mean, yeah. You can make a listen check if you want.
Can I also make a listen check?
Yeah, if you would like.
Yes, please.
They're still probably gonna beat us.
Yabo, Corum, you both hear off to the east in the distance what sounds like what you would realize, Corum, sounds like 2 deer fighting. The clashing of antlers clattering against each other. Yabo, you hear the same thing. It just kind of sounds like wood, like sticks kind of beating and rattling against each other. Just kind of rattle, rattle, rattle. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Some kind of braying grunts and things.
Can I put my hand on my sword, like the hilt, just in case if something starts coming towards us?
You're gonna stab a deer?
No, I'm not gonna stab a deer. I might make a loud noise, try to get him to fuck off.
Get him to fuck off. Do you have a bow?
I do have a bow.
Okay, I was just curious. I
Yeah.
figured you would
No,
for
no, no.
hunting. You just...
I do have a bow. I have a fancy bow.
Oh, that's right. You bought the composite bow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You get your sword out, just kind of ready.
Just loose. All right. How do I end my end turn?
My turn.
Actually, now I think of it, I forgot I have a. There's a. Oh, shit. What's the button?
Victor, hurry up! They're leaving us tinier folk behind.
I accidentally made a creature deaf. I forgot I can just toggle visibility on these guys. Learning experiences. There we
Okay,
go.
so at most, what I can see is that Corin thinks something is up, right?
Yeah, you see Corum
like I don't know
take out
anything
his
yet.
sword. You can make a listen check to see if you hear the fighting also.
I'm just gonna wave my hand to show that it's fine. It's probably just deer. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I would just keep moving, you know?
I have had my crossbow out, just in case we were attacked.
I mean, yeah, would Yabo carry their crossbow just kind of in general? Or
Well, knowing we were going out here, yeah, probably.
okay, then yeah, probably. Just ready to, just in case you need to shoot something.
Because
Well,
I
welcome
assume
back.
she would have told us about the weird markings and the holes in the trees.
Yeah, that was notified. You guys are aware of that from week 1. You were inspecting the tree, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and make a nature check.
Nature, or nature knowledge?
So, you're trying to identify as a nature knowledge.
I just moved. I didn't really have any reason to do anything else at this point in time, to be honest.
It's a nice, sturdy oak tree. It seems to be well taken care of. As you're kind of looking at it, you notice this kind of budding moss growing off of it. Kind of these small little white flowers. But it seems to be in some sort of symbiotic like relationship with the moss protecting it. Yabo.
Wait, did Terraco get a turn?
He's a small folk. He's slow.
All right. I'm gonna break off a little bit and move. Oh, that's right.
I assume you guys can see the circle, right?
No, not really.
My targeting circle I placed, or are those invisible to you guys when I do them?
I think they're invisible.
Invisible at the moment.
Okay, so if I
see it now.
like
I'm gonna get up to
like
here.
you see the one that's next to Galbo? Or
I don't.
No.
Okay, did you see the shape? Or no? Because if you guys just can't see what I'm placing when I place the shapes, that's good.
Oh, I see that thing over there by the stump.
What?
Yeah, we saw you put something briefly down and be like by Hector and Charity Square.
Okay.
In the
but then it
lower right-hand
disappears.
corner of that. But then it disappears.
Yeah.
Okay,
correct.
cool.
And I'm gonna make another spot check
Yeah, go ahead.
just to see if I can see anything now that I'm a little closer to where the sound came from. Whoops.
Let me double check their numbers. Nope.
Dang. All right. I return to Quorum. Or behind Quorum, I guess. And that will be my turn. How do I pass?
In the combat
In
tab,
the
there's
combat tab.
there's a button that says next turn.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. The timer ran out the last time, so I didn't actually have to.
I did it for you last time because
you-
I just moved it up to Quorum.
I see the next up graphic, and that is fun and cool.
Mm-hmm.
And helpful.
Ooh, my turn. I make it okay. I didn't realize I had to click on it to make it go away. I was just waiting for it to go. Well, I can take my action to dash, right?
Yeah, you can double move. You could even, I think you could even sprint or something, which is like 5 times your move, but it has to be in a straight line. Or something like that.
Well, I'm not sprinting because it's the forest and there's a stump and I just want to get next to Quorums. Leave me behind! Respect your elders!
If we're doing full movements,
It's only
then I
been 6
just did
seconds,
half
bro.
of my movement to get here. Right? I just did a movement rather than my full movement to get here.
Yeah,
I'm going
I just have-
slow is what I'm saying.
You are. It's just your slow is still 30 feet and my slow is 20 feet. So, like, every other turn, like, I have to kind of dash to keep up.
Sprint
Probably
a little bit.
representative of me doing, like, long term, I'm probably, like, fast walking instead of, like, walking normally, dashing, every 6 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Click, click, click.
It's also only been 6 seconds each turn.
Next up.
Your turn. Is there anything in the tree up top above?
Anything
I see
like
anything?
like nests or something, or just like anything?
Yeah.
Roll spot check. You can kind of see like what looks like a little squirrel's nest nestled up in the high branches of the tree.
I'm gonna climb the tree.
Okay.
I want to see. I want to inspect this nest anymore. I'm really curious. I want
And
to just
again,
see
we
how
still have
different
no
the fauna is.
reason
Make a climb
to
check.
not do that.
I've I have no reason to be worried.
Yeah, you're just out exploring, making sure people don't get hurt. That was a nat 20.
Climbing a tree, making
Was
sure
it
people
really?
don't get
Oh
hurt.
yeah, I'm at a -3.
Yeah, you can you
The
kind of
doctor
scurry up the
breaks their
tree.
leg.
You get a little bit closer, and you can kind of hear just a. It doesn't come through on Discord. Chittering, snapping,
Like squirrel
clicking,
noises.
squirrel noises, as you kind of see this little squirrel kind of pop its head out, look at you, and kind of scamper away and jump from the one branch of this tree over to the other, or kind of like down to the ground behind Hector.
Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna take out a small like piece of dried fruit, and we'll put it in the nest. Does it all look like it's just a normal squirrel,
Yeah,
right?
it's just a normal squirrel. Just
Okay.
small
not-
game.
It's not a wrong squirrel.
It's not a wrong
It's not
squirrel.
a wrong squirrel.
No. No.
Okay, I'm gonna put a piece of like dried fruit in its nest and then hop off the tree.
We'll keep that as the same climb check. That's fine. Okay, yeah. You kind of go up there, put a little food, and are like, "Oh, I scared it away," and climb back down.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. That's pretty wholesome.
So if the doctor climbed the tree and broke their leg, how would we deal with that?
With the physical
You're the one that
therapy,
has
of course.
first aid.
Oh, okay.
All right, Cora.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down a bit.
Hold on a second.
Can I?
I just love how Terrico's smaller than the rest of us.
It's pretty great.
It's adorable.
Okay. That's
You're
fine.
just a little guy.
Just a little man. You wouldn't
Little
hurt
guy.
just a little dude, would you? I'm just a little man, a little wee little man.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Drawfee, Karina just saying he's just a little guy is permanently.
He's
stuck
just
in
a
my
little
brain.
guy.
A little guy.
Okay.
I see that
I
one.
think that's
Just
an
a little
internet
guy.
thing.
Cameron, I see that radius.
It's weird that you can see that one, but none of the others.
I don't know why.
I can too.
Maybe it's because
It's
you're partially
Starting
in it.
from here.
That would
Or
make
maybe
sense
not in-
because she's partially in it, but no, she's not in it fully. That's weird. Anyway,
Uh,
I believe in your suspension of disbelief.
that's fine. I'm gonna look this way actually, and just like lift up a couple branches with the sword to see if there is 2 bucks fucking around near us or not.
The sound was more to the east.
Oh, to the east.
I don't have a ping feature, unfortunately, which is one thing that was really nice in Roll20. It was more coming from over in like that direction.
There's a ping feature.
Is there? What is it? Is it just double click or something?
Hold it.
Hold.
click.
Oh, I was meaning like through this area, like lift up these.
Yeah.
trees,
Okay.
just to
You're just kind of moving the branches out of your way.
yeah, just moving the branches, just making sure there's nothing fucking around like here that I have
Yeah.
to look at.
Okay. Make another spot check.
Poor Hector and your 130 ping.
Nope.
That's fine. It's
You don't notice anything.
It's all good. Just gonna make
15.
our regular movements.
20,
Okay, Corum.
25. Yeah,
You
fucking around and finding out.
fucking around to find out. You can make me one more spot check. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
And
And
then a
and this
dexterity
time,
saving
you do notice something.
Good.
So, as
throw.
you
Notice giant jaws.
are walking your way through the woods, trying to track this deer and lead your team back out of the forest, you see what looks like a little tiny red rose, just kind of sitting there, moving, swirling. But you kind of notice, or swirling, kind of swaying in the wind. But you notice it's not quite swaying perfectly in the wind, And as you kind of look a little closer, you can see hidden within the bloom of the flower what looks to be a little tiny face, two little black eyes, and a tiny little mouth. And then you hear a kind of squeak, and then you hear a ah. I need you to make a will save.
Oh, good.
Okay, you do succeed.
Thank God.
But let me pull up what it would have done because I actually need to know.
I have a +8 to spot. I just kept rolling fucking 11s.
I just thought we were about to be eaten by velociraptors, but it turns out it's just a Studio Ghibli thing.
Anyway, so you hear this kind of lulling singing, and you kind of shake your head and manage to not be kind of slowed by it. You're still pretty alert as you see this little tiny creature kind of frightened and swaying and slowly kind of hopping backwards. But you can see this. You can see this boyo now, so I can do that. I can toggle his visibility. Also, which one is it? Does it tell me when I hover over him? Oh, it's the one who's technically first. Okay, cool. All right. So what do you do?
Hey, Doc, we found some new wildlife. If you're interested.
Ooh. I'll go over and check it out.
Let's see. Go ahead and pass the turn. It's Hector up. And you can all kind of hear this kind of low, sweet singing sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably make my way over there also.
We all just kind of
From a
crouch
meta
around the
standpoint, I
little
want to
flower.
just use my full motion to get over there, but the idea of me sprinting over there in character for no real reason.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear like the weird sudden singing start.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so my regular speed is 40. Or 20 rather, so I have 40 altogether.
Maybe we could just go 30 feet and say like it was a light jog.
Yeah, I did the little half jog that you do when you're crossing the street.
I'm sorry, Elsa, did you want to?
Watching the ruler come up. Hector, make me a will save.
I don't like when there's will involved.
Uh,
Spoiler alert, Hector's gonna be a lot like Bree in that they do not like this kind of bullshit. Fucking fight me if you're gonna fight me.
You do succeed. But you kind of start to nod your head a little bit, kind of like get a little drowsy, but you're like, no, this is not normal. This is not right.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Doot. Yabo!
Next, awesome. Your turn. I would just, kind of move over there.
Okay. Is that where you're stopping?
I think I'd probably go next to Kareem. Oh God, my screen turned green.
Sorry, I was putting
Am
I
I
was,
dead?
I was
Did
putting
I
down
die?
another measurement for my own sanity. I was making sure something was in fact where it was supposed to be. Yabo, yeah, you move forward. Make me a will save.
Oh, that's a big circle. Oh, and it's gone.
It was big enough, and I figured it was right, and it was right.
Yep, I was figuring out where it was.
Okay, you also succeed.
Oh, thank God. I was trying to not play that metally. and I didn't want to be the first to fall to fall victim. I'm gonna be done. I don't. It shows no aggression towards me. It would be really fucked up to beat this little cute flower thing with a stick immediately.
Okay.
I fucking punched it
So
in the spot.
you notice the singing gets a fair bit louder. And you can kind of hear off in the distance, ah, just kind of beginning to emanate from a few different spots in the forest, kind of almost like a singing in harmony as these different songs kind of begin to reverberate around. Terrico, you notice above you some different like blackbirds kind of sitting perched on a tree branch, and one of them kind of lulls forward and drops to the ground before it shakes itself and flies away, cawing, waking up its allies as they fly into the distance. And it is your turn. But now, I would like you to make me a will save.
Oh, I have to make the will save too? Oh no, I thought I needed to be close for that. Maybe I'm closer than I thought. Oh no.
I assume Corum pointed out the little creature to the people nearby. Okay, you succeed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I told
I
Doc
would
to
hope
come.
so with a
her
22.
Terrico, you do also hear that there's singing coming from your right and closer to you on your left.
On my left?
Sorry, because you're going downwards. There's some to your right and closer to you on your left. Yeah, no, that was right.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you walk by, you can kind of hear the singing to your left go and pass up behind you.
Okay, well, I wanted to get close to our more fightery people, and, yeah, maybe I'm just a paranoid old man, but, I saw some birds start to fall asleep and then run away, and, there's more voices around here. Maybe I'm paranoid, but this is kind of creepy.
Maybe it's a
Does he-
natural predator of the birds.
These little flower people eat birds.
I'm gonna say
Whatever,
it's probably
Split.
enough to creep out Terrico enough that he gets out the crossbow, but doesn't really do anything with it. He just feels more comfortable with it in his hand.
Yeah, that's fair.
To those of us who know how to use weapons, when we look at Terrico, like, does it look like he even a little bit knows what he's doing with it, or?
I mean, he does understand
I
a
went past
crossbow
Charity.
in a very mechanical sense. I mean, I think to some of you bigger ones, especially since you already have a bit of an idea that he's a nerd who wouldn't be fighting, it probably looks a little silly because he is 3 feet tall. It kind of looks like he's got like a child's crossbow. Like he's got a nerd
sideways because these things.
Am I familiar with this sound? Can I hear the singing?
You can hear the singing, but you don't recognize it, no.
Okay. I'm gonna move here, and Corum said that there was a different animal that they've never seen before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sprinting over then, in that case. Because that's the whole point I'm here.
Alright, Charity, make me a will save. Okay, you succeed.
Hey.
I wish one of us would fail so that we could take it seriously as a threat.
So that we would know we were in a fight?
Charity, let me take a look at your sheet here. This...
What if we just
We're
left?
what, like 4 rounds in and none of us realize that we're fighting yet?
I think it would be funny if we just left.
roll me a...
This is no longer a fight.
roll me a... I'll say roll me a nature check.
Nature or knowledge?
Knowledge nature, sorry.
Good job, you're fine. Oh,
Uh,
11.
this is not something you've read about in your books. Also, is there just a nature skill?
There is, yes.
Yeah.
Is there? I don't see it on your sheet.
I don't think I have it.
I have it. That's right. I thought I did.
It's my
Listen, move silently. Open. No, I don't. I've got the player's handbook. I can just look at the character sheet in the back.
I wonder if nature was a check in
It's a
5e
check from
in
5th
my
edition.
book.
It definitely is in 5e.
I could have sworn I specifically didn't choose it because I was like, she's not good in nature. She just knows a lot about it.
You probably didn't take survival.
That's probably what it was.
I can never find the character sheet in this book.
Who needs to survive?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a rogue. I have basically every skill, but I don't have survival.
Yeah, no,
Who
it's just
needs
knowledge
to
in 3.5.
survive?
It's just knowledge nature.
Okay.
Anyway, you do not recognize this creature.
Okay. Weird. Is it friendly?
Hard to say.
I like the comedic timing of the is
Dun,
it
dun,
friendly
dun.
and then the timer going bum bum bum.
Corum.
What
I'm
up?
not hearing a bum bum bum.
Is your computer sound on?
No, it's
I'm
my
gonna
headphone. I
head on
only
over
have my
closer.
headphones on.
To give
Well,
it
that's why you don't hear it.
give it a checker out.
I can't play it.
Are you just looking at it?
Yeah, I
No,
want
my
to
question is
inspect
like
it.
speaker that you
Closer.
use on your computer.
Okay.
Yeah, I can only have 2.
It's
There's
a
one.
tiny little thing. You don't see any
No.
like roots on it or anything. It seems to
I'm very
have different little leaves for limbs. It's got little spikes on. It's like little thorns on its body, and as you kind of get closer to it, you can kind of see one of its leaves curl around and snap off one of the little thorns and hold it like a tiny knife. As it kind of.
I think it's using itself as weaponry. Oh, you're just adorable.
That's inventive. Maybe I like it more than I thought.
And is that your turn?
Can I take out my sack and try to put it on this thing?
This seems like a great
A
time to make a
grapple?
grapple check.
Yeah, that's a grapple. Yeah, that's fine.
That is a grapple.
Katrina's ready to get this fight started, and I appreciate that.
We're gonna get the fight started by
I
trying
just
to
wanna-
make it into a potted plant.
Okay, so here's the thing: is my number 2 lady. I have-
Make a melee
I
attack.
can bring it back. You better know how to raise it. So how do I make an attack? Do I click on it and then do grapple?
Yes, that should be fine. And then, let me actually just roll this as a normal d20 because this isn't the actual monster I'm using the token for. Plus 1d20 minus 12. Katrina, you have grappled this. Actually, no, you have to hit it first. That's right. 1d20 plus 4. What is its AC? Its AC is not... Okay, nope. So as you take out your sack and, like, open it to bring it down, like you're catching air in a plastic bag, it kind of scurries off to the side and kind of nimbly dodges and rolls out of the way.
It does a fucking dodge roll? What?
You kind of see its little rose bud head kind of lose a couple petals as it rolls away.
Alright, well, then
This
I'm over
isn't
here.
relevant. This is only for my mental note. Does it have tiny little legs? Or is it walking on roots?
It's kind of tiny little legs, sort of like roots.
Okay,
Hector.
so they're like roots,
Yeah,
but they're not.
but they're not
like,
in the
it's
ground.
not split into 2 little legs that it's walking on.
It's kind of like a bunch of little legs, like a spider almost, with some.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if Hector is the kind of person that would also be trying to catch this thing. I honestly don't think so. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything.
You're just kind of watching Corum try to catch this little dude.
I mean, again, we're still not really in a fight, is the thing. Like, I'm not one of the nature people. Like, I find this thing interesting, but like, I'm really just kind of here for the moment.
You're just kind of like, wow, what a weird little thing I've never seen before. Yeah, that's fair.
I'll move a little bit closer.
Okay. I would like everyone to. Oh, it's not actually its turn yet. That was the wrong one. Yabo.
Yabo.
Hang on, he's in the kitchen getting a drink.
God damn it, Yabo. I don't see my domain spells.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if both headphones had microphones or not, and I turned off, took off one of them. I, as myself, in person, would love to punt this thing, but as Yabo, I think he's just gonna just hold off and just be here until it causes alarm.
What if it's the latest superfood, Yabo? What if you could turn it into the perfect protein?
And maybe even Yabo's.
How will you know it's
Walking
not
away a little
not
bit.
scurvy grass if you don't eat it?
I'm not gonna get too far away from my party, but I'm not really all that interested in this plant thing. So I'm gonna just meander.
Okay. I would like everyone to make a will save.
Even me, I'm out of the circle.
You're out of that circle.
Oh,
There's multiple circles.
Okay, Hector. Okay, that's a failure. That's a failure. That's a failure. That's a failure.
Oh my god!
Woo!
where's mine?
We all just
Oh,
had
I
to
have
fail
to
at the
roll
same
it.
time.
And Yabo fails. Fantastic.
What?
Oh, actually, hold on. Nope, yep, that still fails for Corum, even though the +2 against that.
Oh,
And-
is it sleep?
Oh yeah, you're an elf, aren't you?
Oh, night. Yeah, I'm an elf.
Everyone but Corum falls asleep.
Oh?
Yep, you were all immune. Yep, magical suplex. Yep. Okay. Yeah, everyone but Corum is lulled into sleep by this choral singing of this bouquet of flower creatures that are somewhere in this forest. The one right in front of Corum that started the kind of louder slumber song kind of looks at you and looks at all of your friends, looks at the little dagger in its hand, and it's
I do a what you gonna do about it?
it's it's going to try to stab you. It kind of pricks you a little bit like in the shoe,
Fucking mugging ass.
and it just kind of sticks the thorn in your boot. Doesn't manage to pull it back out, and it's going to skitter away 5 feet using a 5-foot step to try to run away from you.
Damn, opportunity attacks are 5, 8.
No, that's the thing at 3.5, but it's like a 5-foot step, so you don't get an AOO. Anyway, just skip right.
Essentially leaving.
Skip right
I'm
to
just fucking
Corum.
asleep, right?
Yep, you're all just affected by the sleep spell.
Make a save.
Secretly want to find a little...
That's what the save was.
Loudly.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, then come up to it. Because this is I know that there's other ones in this area, but this is the one that I know is right here. I'm gonna try to I got my fucking sword out, man.
You're gonna try to kill it instead of collect it this time?
Yeah, I'll just chop its head off.
Okay.
Okay, so I select it and then I
Oh god.
You can just
Do
roll it.
attack?
Just click the attack. You don't even have to select it. Don't worry about that.
oh, cool.
That will hit, and that will in fact kill it. As you just kind of take your sword like a little weed whacker and cut it down, and with a Ah! As the sword swings towards you, or towards it, its kind of head plops off, spattering the rose petals everywhere, and you can kind of hear the distant kind of choral sounds just kind of slowly end out as the
Did your
lead
attack do
singer.
11 damage?
Yeah. She rolled
How much?
1d8 plus 3.
Max damage against okay flowers.
Yeah. A single flower. What a way to go. So as it dies, the kind of choral singing stops, as you can assume the shriek of terror means that their attempt was unsuccessful in finishing you off, or putting you asleep. So what are you doing, Corum?
It stopped singing.
Yeah, the kind of echoing chorus just kind of goes through and slowly ends.
Encounter left.
They're not singing anymore. They've given up on their threat dispersal and are now relying on the fact that they're hiding.
It's me and four people out in the woods.
Or sleeping people.
We're sleeping people out in the woods. I'm gonna try to
Could you
wake up
wake us
Hector
up?
first, just like yeah, I'm gonna wake people up. You're the farthest from me, so I'm gonna get the closer ones first.
You
like,
just kind of
grab him by
shake
the
him
shoulder.
awake.
Yeah,
Hector kind of slowly comes to as you're shaking him, as he's just kind of standing there asleep.
I don't know why my token has a background on it.
I don't know, man.
It's because you opened
Whatever.
tokenizer again, and it saved your token and added it to another token.
Token
Yeah.
and a token.
Okay.
Exactly.
Recursion!
Every time you open tokenizer, you have to remake both tokens, no matter what.
Anyway,
Okay.
you kind of slowly wake everyone up from this slumber. The massive
I'm
threat
gentler with
dispersed.
Jericho and Charity, and I kick Yabo. Like a couple
What
of
did
times.
Yabo do?
Not hard, just like with the side of your foot, you know? He's a big
Like
guy,
you're
he can
passing
take
a
it.
soccer ball.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a sign of respect to Yabo.
he can take it.
Exactly.
Anyway, you were all awoken. The singing flower threat disbanded. Each of you 60 XP richer.
Woo!
Okay, so is that something I need to be marking?
Yes.
And I do that where?
On your character sheet, let me see if I can help you find where.
Right, I'm supposed to be
think I-
looking at magic items to create. I forgot.
It's
the
up
very
in the
right in the
corner,
corner?
isn't it?
Top right, I
At
think.
the top.
There's a little
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I see. I just fill it in.
You said 50 or 60?
60.
bar. And it should be out of 1,000.
Yes, because that's
Yeah.
to get to level 2.
Okay, cool.
And then I have 20 just for
That's different
or
than what
item
I looked
creation.
at.
Yeah,
right,
that's
okay.
not like XP towards a
It-
level. That's just for the whatever magic
Just
items
for item
you were
creation,
creating while on the boat.
I
That's
can
20
click into
for
the
all of it
box, but it
combined,
won't
I
let me change the
Yes.
value that's in there.
Interesting.
You
When's
Not
that?
in the box. Wait, what? You
Say-
can
Weird,
click in the
Madison.
box,
I
but you
just click
can't
on the
change it?
0, and it lets me modify.
yeah,
It gives me like. No, it was something stupid. I was using my number pad and my number lock had gotten turned off.
Ah,
that'll do it.
I
Anyway,
was so confused. I was like, it's giving me a cursor and everything.
after that,
Cameron, I want to bag
I
this.
got 60 XP from falling asleep.
easiest 60 XP I've ever gotten.
yep. All you had to do
So
was have
is
an
this
elf on the
XP
party.
So is this XP till the next level, or
Yes.
is this just spendable XP?
It's to the next level, and it is the same XP that you spend to make magic items.
Okay. I looked it up earlier, and I thought that getting to level 1 was less. Or getting to level 2 is less,
It's
less than that.
I thought you said 1,000.
it's
What?
it's
I thought that was what you
1,000,
said.
and
No,
then I
it's-
think it's 3,000. And then it
I
goes.
looked.
Basically, it's every level below added together times 1,000. So like level 1 to level 2
You're-
is
I
1,000.
must have been looking
Level
at
2 to level
the,
3
like,
is
5th edition or
3,000 because it's
something.
1 plus 2 times 1,000. To get 3 to 4 is 6,000 because it's 1 plus 2
And
plus
now you're
3
telling
times
me that
1,000.
all those numbers you listed out to me earlier weren't even right?
Yeah, I made a list today. It was 300
And
for level
read it
2,
aloud to
600 for level
me.
3.
You're looking at 5th
18.
edition, my dude. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
okay. That's what I said. That's what I said just a second ago. Was I might have been looking at 5th edition.
Yeah.
Cameron,
Okay, guys.
can I please
One
bag
flower
this
gave us.
body?
Yes, you can pick up the poor destroyed corpse of this little flower creature, leaking its little
Does it look all
chlorophyll
sad
blood.
and wilted now?
Yep.
Hey, Charity's gonna love this shit.
Does Charity love this shit?
Yes. Sorry, I was reading. I was reading the magical items.
You're
A lot of these are gold pieces too.
Don't worry about the cost for gold, because that's the cost in gold is the cost for raw materials, and you have raw materials.
Okay.
Like
Except
basically, yeah. Don't worry about
Except
wondrous
stone.
magic items. Just worry about like scrolls, potions, and a wand. Those are like the 3 that you'd probably be able to do easily on the boat. Oh yeah, because no stone, clearly, no stone, no bricks. But you could flavor them however you want to flavor them, just using the mechanics. Like the thought would be like a bandage wrap that's cure minor wounds, but it's really just a wand to cure minor wounds. But it's like, it has 50 uses because it's 50 different little bandages, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Right, so 1 flower was 60 XP, so if we just find 16 more flowers to kill, we'll get to level 2.
Now you're thinking.
I
I've
find
moved
60 more
straight from
flowers.
Civ Builder to RPG Grinder.
Eventually, you'll start killing like different types of flowers. Like, oh, these are little roses. The next ones are going to be violets, and they're going to be worth slightly more XP and have a different drop.
Oh yeah, did we get the Thorn Dagger as a rare drop?
I mean, I think
in my boot.
I think Corum did, as it's in his boot. This little tiny
And the
rose
hat
thorn.
that looks like the little flower petals.
There you go.
Let me guess, it does 1d1 damage.
I think technically the sheet says 1d4 minus 2 or
Right,
some
but
minus
it's
4 or
one-
something. Hold on, let me pull the creature back up. It does 1d2 minus 4.
Eh,
So it does 1 damage, but it crits on a 19 or a 20 because it's considered a
Ooh.
dagger, and daggers crit on. So, you have successfully killed a petal. You guys were worried about 5 monsters when all they do is sing you to sleep.
Listen, man, maybe if we didn't have an elf, it would just fucking assassinate us.
I mean,
They would have stabbed us with 1 damage to death.
well, no, because then you would have
Listen.
woke up from the 1 damage.
But also, we were asleep, so you get a critical hit automatically, right? So
Oh,
that's
you're
2
right.
damage. I can only be stabbed
Wow.
4 times while asleep,
There you go.
and I will die.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I can make anything with only 20.
Base
You can do scrolls.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that you did call them streakers and make them look terrifying in the
Yeah.
as the representation.
There weren't
Put that
any
guy
any
on our
good
heads a little
tokens
bit.
for that.
Listen,
Well,
last
it's
time we
time.
You could have
fought,
done a little rose.
plant monsters in D&D, like people got swallowed up. There was like invasion of the body snatchers going on. It was a creepy castle mansion place. Like
That's
that was
if
bad
that's
for
if
us.
it's something that requires XP to cast the spell. If casting the spell would reduce the caster's XP total, she pays the cost multiplied by 50.
Okay. I don't know where it is to make weapon items based on XP then.
It's just the plus 15. It's like a level 0 wand that, if it's a cleric, a druid, or a wizard spell, is 187 gold pieces, 5 silver pieces, and 15 XP.
Okay.
It's not that times 50 because it has 50 charges. The times 50 is if it had an XP cost, like Wish or something. You would have to pay. Oh, to make a wand of Wish, you need 50 times the XP to make a Wish wand.
Oh, okay.
Sounds really good, though.
So the reason it's a plus is it's saying this much gold and an XP. When you have to, it gets way more complicated if you're trying to do a wondrous item, because then you have to. The XP cost is a lot more complicated. But when you're just doing like brew a potion, a level 0 potion is 1 XP.
Gotcha.
Tanners. Let me just double check.
So-
But
How long did that entire encounter take in real time? Like a minute and a half or something?
from the time of Corum having to wake everyone up, yeah, probably about a minute and a half. You can still hear the 2 deer fighting in the distance. But anyway, I think that's a good enough place to call it because we got the one combat in, and it's
yeah,
late for
we
y'all.
got in. We started getting our feet under us.
Learning how to fight flowers and that there are strange creatures in this land.
I feel like I'm getting there with Foundry here.
Damn strange creatures in weird places.
And normal squirrels.
And normal squirrels.
That's the important thing.
And presumably normal deer.
Yeah, presumably.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know
As
that.
far as we know, normal deer.
Normal
At
deer.
least the deer here fight like normal deer from a distance.
From a distance. So the fun part about this monster is its organization is solitary pair, bouquet, or garden.
That's cute.
It's very cute.
That is very cute, but also scares me.
A garden 7 to 10, plus a couple more monsters that are actually threatening monsters, and not just things that try to avoid close combat. But now you know one threat to look out for. Can't wait for me to throw these guys in, like, with another encounter.
Here's the problem. Based on how it went, I'm not convinced that the rest of the characters are going to believe that they're actually a threat. I'm pretty sure that Corum's going to try and catch one in a bag next time.
Yeah. Corum's going to catch one in a bag.
100% going to want to catch one in the bag next time. Yeah.
And then everyone back at camp's going to fall asleep. Corum's going to bring one back and...
The best sleep aid.
there you
I do
go.
kind of like the idea of having like
That's
one
melatonin.
house that's like, this is the insomnia house. If you have a hard time going to sleep, this is where we keep the singing plant.
This is where we keep the singing. Just a bunch of different bell jars, just full of them. And it's like, depending on how sleepy
y'all
you
are still
are.
screwed.
Well, they don't need to sleep anyway. They just meditate.
That's true.
Caution does not work on
That's
elves.
Exactly. Man, I was really hoping all of you
This is
would
our
fall
first-
asleep, but I totally forgot elves are immune to sleep.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Our first major export
I
back
mean,
to the mainland.
Of all the characters, I feel like Corum just kind of being like, huh, cut. It's the most thematic though.
I did that to my party once, and all but 2 of them were immune. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. Sounds about right. I'm gonna be a bad person and order like food that's supposed to take. They always say 40 to 50 minutes, but it's going to be done in like half an hour, and I'm gonna be like, oh damn, now I have to put on pants now instead of in 10 minutes.
Damn.
Let's. Anyway, I'm gonna click the stop streaming button here in a second. So, bye.
Bye, all of
Great
our
way to
favorite
say you're not
export
wearing
cats.
pants on stream.
I bet Lightning isn't either. I mean, it's not like I'm like doing a webcam or something. You know, like that would be the weird thing. It's like, oh, I'm not wearing pants, but you can see like my top part of my body. And who needs pants when you have a blanket and live alone?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not naked. That's a little too far.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. Anyway, bye
This-
stream.